9 o'clock, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Happy Monday morning. First on the agenda is approve the minutes of Monday, July 22nd, as written.
So move.
Moved by Thompson, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. We do not have any miscellaneous motions. So the motion was to approve the agenda for this morning. So we can start with our River City Jail update, weekly update.
Again, thank you all for coming. I can make it last week.
Yeah, we'll Dr. Pay, it's okay.
Before we get a clear coat on it, if you want to come over and sign it, we could probably
Oh,
contact
okay.
that.
Okay.
I'll talk with Ryan. I don't think he put a clear coat on it yet, but
Okay.
he was going to.
Okay. If it's been done, no big deal.
Right.
If it hasn't, yeah, that's fine.
As you all saw last week, steel topped out. Got some miscellaneous steel going on in the decking, and the joists will show up Thursday. Start shaking them out. Hopefully have most of them on pretty quick. What we're looking for. I think they're going to change your crew up a little bit. I think they have a few new people today, or different people rather. Get a lot of stuff done. Hopefully, the masons are working on the booking and intake area, the interior walls, and hopefully be wrapping them up next week and starting on some of the exterior walls in that area, working our way out of that area. And then I think they're going to hop over and hit the electrical room on the pod side, the east side, southeast corner rather, and keep moving interior walls and a few exterior walls. And that's about all they got on. Don't sound like much, but it's coming together.
It is coming together.
A project like that, it may look like a small amount going on, but there's a lot.
Somebody, dispatchers, we walked with dispatchers last week, kind of looking at some of the IT, where it's coming, and getting some logistics going on that, and took them around. So, well, that's about it. It doesn't seem like much, but there's a lot going on.
A lot going on, and a lot has already happened.
Yes.
Huge amount.
We'll be starting to mock up pretty soon, getting the block, or the brick, and some of the finishes shown for everybody, be out on the sidewalk in front of the trailer as well. So, kind of starting to see the exterior coming together, put a window in it.
You know, the 2 months and 3 days that I've been gone, it went from a slab to, the other thing that was vertical was, I think, was it the center block, was that for the elevator? Or was that the...
They had the stair towers up
Stair towers,
first.
that's what it was. And then I come back and there's...
It changed, didn't it?
Big change.
Yeah, they have stairs in them. They're setting the handrails right now. We'll be getting the concrete guys back to pour those, and that way we're ready to get up on the second floor when they shake that steel out.
Yeah.
They've actually started some of that as well. I think the northwest corner's got the decking shook out for Wade's office.
Yeah. Cool.
Very good.
Well, and we haven't had any injuries down there, have we? Knock on wood, that's good. That's good. Knock on wood.
Bloody fingers. The block guys, one guy didn't have his fingers calloused up yet. He put tape on them, but other than that, we're...
Soft hands.
That's what we shoot for.
Yep.
Very good.
Great.
And I'll let you know on that.
Okay.
I'd like for you all to sign it. Everybody that...
Yeah, like I say, if they've already clear coated, no problem, just roll along with it. So if they haven't, I would like to, yes.
Yes, sir.
On the beam, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. I think, if I remember right, I think yours and Tom's names
Correct.
were on there.
Oh, they were?
I think somebody signed your name.
Okay.
You can check.
If you want to sign them, be fine, but I think
Yeah,
that's
no,
right
but-
to put on there.
I think it'd be good if you signed it yourself.
Yeah. Well, don't need to have two signatures on it.
Right.
Maybe a little
Third
level
part,
off.
don't think nobody wants
No,
it.
right. So I'll let you know for sure if he
Okay.
did, but, yeah, if he hasn't, I'd like for you all to sign, or for you to sign it.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Perfect.
Thank you. Well,
Take care.
see you later on.
Thank
or
you.
Get an update next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're running way ahead. Tom, you got anything this morning? No?
You're right.
Just your runs?
So, we can put you on that crane, lift you up, just give you
Noose?
put you on the ball, raise you up,
Around the neck?
much paperwork.
Well, you know, I don't have a problem with it.
I'm gonna please so many people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd make about 50% happy if it was a wrapped rope.
Put you in one of those scissor lifts, raise you up there.
That'd be a pretty good drop, 'cause it's up in the air probably 20 foot.
Yeah, if my name's on it, that's fine, so.
It'd be better if it was original, yes.
We got cemetery maintenance. 9:15, 9:06.
Yeah, and I was supposed to get in touch with Roger Gilbert on that cemetery west of him, and I have not got that done, but I'll make sure I get that done this week. That's where they're wanting to straighten all those stones up. I drove by there. There are some stones that's leaning pretty good, but there's a lot of stones that probably aren't leaning over 5 or 10%. So, just have to visit, I'll visit with Roger.
The problem
See
with that,
what his thoughts
the
are
problem with doing something like that is then you're opening a can of worms
Yeah.
for every cemetery.
for that much money.
Yeah.
But it sounded like there was some that needed,
Yeah.
it had some that needed.
That's
care.
true.
I'll make sure I get ahold of Roger. He works out at the lake, I'm not sure, you know, what his hours are and what his days are.
Out at Wolf Creek Lake?
He's been out there quite a few years, though. You know how long he's been out there, Tom?
I don't,
He's been out there
been out there quite a while.
quite a few years.
I don't know what their schedule was, they switch around so much, I can find out for you.
You get in touch with me.
Brian, do you have anything that would fill about 10 minutes?
Sure.
Then we can step in and take care of Roger Cook and start back with you.
All right, hold off on the budget stuff probably till we get
Yeah.
Roger out of the way.
Yeah.
Just some discussion here, the landfill trash compactor. They were packing some trash the other day, and there was a big chunk of metal that got up in the lugs and got into the kind of the catwalk, ladder side catwalk on that machine. Did some damage. It's something we're gonna need Cat to come in and basically just rip some stuff out of the frame. So there's some cutting out of the frame and refabricating, and just when it gets into something like that, we tend to have somebody come in and do that, rather than our inside guys, and so that's like $11,000, $11,075 is the cost on that, just for some helicoil stuff, and like I said, just dealing with the mainframe stuff.
Is there anything a person can do with insurance on that?
I don't
I don't know what the deductible is.
I don't believe on that. I suppose that'd be a question we could ask. I forget what the deductible is on that equipment. out there,
Deductible
but
is
it's-
10,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
It's no good.
yeah.
I mean, it's not an issue, but if
Yeah.
Then you're kinda shooting yourself in the foot.
yeah,
If that's all you're getting.
But if it's 500, then
It's not 500.
it's not 500.
No, no,
I mean, it is an impact,
right.
you know, so.
Yeah, I'll look and see, but I wanna say it's, I don't know, I hate to say it, but
It's
it's always
probably
more than
not.
500. City of Lebo, so the city lake up there, couple lake roads that come off 27th, and years ago, the city maintained those roads. It's about 8/10 of a mile worth of roads there. In recent years, they don't have the capability, they don't have the blade anymore, the personnel, to be able to blade those. So I know here 3 years ago, they requested us to do a bunch of work on them. The board allowed, yes, we'll do the work, and then they reimbursed us for the gravel. There's some maintenance that needs done out there again, and so I'm just looking, you know, maybe to get some sort of agreement in place with them,
so we don't have to keep coming back every time, for us to do some work out there. One thing I did find out, the houses that's out there, they don't pay city taxes, they pay county taxes. You know, I don't know if we need to take those over 100% and just take care of them, or maybe if we could just do the maintenance side of it. I think the city of Lebo would reimburse material as we would need it periodically, so that would be an option, but, I would just like to have some discussion on what you guys think we should do there, and then I'm gonna get with the, city here this week for their meeting, council meeting, and discuss some of that, but it's just, you know, snow removal in the winter, like this last winter, I don't think much snow removal got done out there, you know, just 'cause they don't have the personnel or knowledge maybe to do some of that.
What's your expected cost if we take it? How many houses are on that 8/10 foot?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Probably about 7,
There's
Is it all
4 or
paid?
5 on the west side and
2 on the
2 on the
east,
east.
And
yeah,
they're all paying county taxes?
yep, yep.
Our expenses as far as materials,
Minimal. I know last time that we rocked, I don't remember how many tons, but it was about $4,000 worth of gravel, and it hadn't had gravel put on it for 10 years. I mean, that's not like it gets a lot of heavy traffic or anything like that, but the biggest thing is just maintaining what's there and keeping the stuff that's in shape instead of letting it get to a point that it's,
Rebuilding.
yes, yes.
if that many houses, it would be more taxes than that too.
Yeah, so is it city-owned property then, or
Well,
why is it not a county road already?
The lake is, and so when the lake was built, I don't know that the city just maintained those. Now, I know on the West Road, there's like a third of it right in the middle of that road that is county, that is in the county, but it's not in the city side of it. So, I mean, it's right on the property line of what the city and county, you know, dividing line is. So,
Okay.
that's the only thing I can figure out,
Okay.
why the city maintains it. You know, currently, we're maintaining a road a quarter mile to the east and a quarter mile to the west. We drive right by there on the east-west road, you know, we drive right by there maintaining the roads anyway, so it's not an inconvenience or out of the way or anything like that. You know, I don't have a cost estimated on what it would be, Don, but, you know, for something like that, you're gonna blade probably 4 or 5 times a year, maybe 0.8 of a mile, so, I mean, you're looking at an hour per time, maybe, something like that.
So you'd like to get with the city and come up with an agreement on something like that for...
Yeah, just something that we can have a document that states who's responsible for what, and that way we don't have to rehash this out every couple of years, and,
Well,
They'd probably like to know what we would like to do when Brian goes to them.
yeah, they're open to anything.
The first time we did this, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, is when they asked us to go in there and grade it.
well, and we did similar work, you know, I don't know about the ownership and what have you, but there at Gridley, you know, and that was very much appreciated that you did work on that road there, mowing and everything, and blading it up, so it's kind of a similar situation.
I would say get with the city and come up with an agreement and go for it. I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal to take care of those roads.
It's minimal.
Minimal.
I know the snow removal is a big thing for the people that live out there, of course,
Sure.
you know, and you know, the county comes down the road and opens up the blacktop side. Well, it's just pushing snow into the entrance to the lake where the people live.
Yeah.
And I experienced that on 50 Highway when I tried to get into the north property over there. I couldn't get in through the driveway because the snow was pushed up so high. I had to come through the hayman and,
Yeah.
you know, around through
Yeah.
the back way, and I mean, you know, as far as the maintenance of it, I don't have a problem with the county pulling the maintenance on it. If for one time I could visit with the rock quarry and see if they'd donate some rock for the lake road, you know, around Lebo Lake. Harsons do that quite frequently to help out the small town that they're in, you know, so I could visit with them. Just need an estimate on how much rock.
Okay, no, we can do that. And I don't know that it needs any rock right now, but,
It just might need to be pulled up.
yeah.
And if the city, you know, if the city's willing to reimburse for all or part of the rock or whatever, that could be in your agreement.
I'd be
Yeah.
agreeable with that.
Yeah.
That's what we did last time, we just charged them our rock cost, we didn't charge them haul or anything like that, just the cost of materials, so. Okay, and that gives me enough information to have discussion with them and come back and
Get that moved along,
Yeah.
get started anyhow, yeah.
We got minimum maintenance roads, resolution there. If you wanna go over that now, or wait.
Well, it's 9:15, I don't know if Mr. Cook's gonna be in here today or not. Might give him just a little bit, see if he shows up. What's that?
That amendment maintenance road resolution.
Oh, resolution.
Yeah, and I've got a packet, we can,
Tom, take your call.
we can go over them real quick if you want, it won't take long, I'll show you what I'm gonna present with.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know why it's doing that.
It says I don't have access.
I know. You see it on yours?
Yeah, right now I can, yeah.
He can see the minimum maintenance stuff, but I can't. Oh, what's that? Right there's a
That's the
resolution.
resolution, yeah, but.
No
there's a
paperwork.
document.
Oh, there's a document there? I ain't worried about that.
Okay.
Do you have a copy of it?
Yeah. Well, not the original.
Okay. I didn't know if you got that or not. All right, so this would be the third round of the minimum maintenance roads. We've done the southwest and southeast quarters. So this would be the northeast. I think there's 15 roads that we're looking at. So I'll just go through this booklet. Number one is 28th Road and Native. Basically beginning at 28th Native, traveling 300 foot east to the field. You can kind of see the Google Earth shot there on the second page. Kind of a map of it.
Hang on just a
Sorry.
second. No, you're fine.
I know, I didn't throw it away. Was this?
It's safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, the second one, this is Oxen, 25 to 26. So basically, this is that road at Old Beto there, going south of 50. I think it may be signed minimum maintenance, but there's never been a resolution to actually make it legal. So
Okay.
Is that still a through road there?
it is a through road. It's not
It's not,
when it's wet. It's not a
Yeah,
through
yeah.
road, but yeah, it's one that I think the high school kids like to
The road,
venture down there.
the road south of it is a non-travel road.
Yes.
It's not even. Next road south,
Yeah, there's
Just got one
nothing,
line.
there's nothing there.
nothing there.
There's no road.
Okay.
Number three, this would be in Waverly, Shetland Lane, and then going, south of 25th Road there, beginning at Shetland Lane, traveling south 2,550 feet to tree line. Number four is Eric Road, 22 to 23. This would be a full mile.
Why is that one marked green?
Well, that green one is one that is signed minimum maintenance. That's a road that's signed minimum maintenance, but it's not,
Hasn't got a resolution on it yet.
no resolution.
Okay.
So that's the second one.
Yeah.
So that goes, well, not quite all the way through, does it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a full mile.
It's a full mile
Okay.
through there.
Number five, Yearling Road. So basically beginning at Yearling the 24th, traveling south for a half mile. That's just a half mile road, there's nothing on the other end of that. Number six is 18th and Oxon, starting there and traveling 2,200 feet west, basically to the gate at the end of the road.
Just to get to the field.
Yep. So if you notice on that picture there, that second picture on the right, that's kind of the end point. So as we've been going through there, you know, there should be some more signage there, like some triple red diamonds. So that's one thing that we're also doing when we're signing these roads, is just bringing all those up to par.
Okay.
Number 7's 20th and Reaper, from that point traveling 1,300 foot east. Number 8, 17th and Shetland Road, traveling 900 feet north. You can see in that picture there, basically that road, I mean, that's just the end point of that road.
Yeah.
You don't really see the tearing up of these roads like you used to years ago.
No, I mean,
Pretty much is, I'm not really gonna say, but it's pretty much went obsolete.
when I was a kid, I lived on roads like that. I mean, four-wheel drive pickups and enjoying yourselves, and it's just, nowadays, I don't know. Kids don't have fun like that anymore, I guess.
Yeah, we've
So-
suffered severely from that in Lyon County on a bunch of dirt roads, and a bunch of
Yeah.
the kids finally grew up, and now they
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
jump ruts so often
Yeah.
anymore.
I think the biggest thing we deal with is, at intersections and people with their four-wheelers and just
Yeah.
cutting kiddies and making them kind of rough.
Yeah.
Number 9, Shetland Road, 17th, traveling south, 300 feet.
Should that be closed or need to be closed?
No, I mean, that's an open road, and it's just needs sign minimum maintenance.
And none of these have signs, is that, I mean, that's,
Correct, some of them might have like no outlet on there, so when we go through and re-sign them, they'll say minimum maintenance, and then there'll also be, no outlet placard below that, so.
South of number 9, there's nothing, there's no road south of 9.
On number 9, yeah, that road only goes for 300 feet and terminates there.
And it looks like we've got a pretty nice gate there.
Yeah, that's at the end of that 300-foot road.
It looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Number 10 is Yearling Road, 22nd, beginning at 22nd Yearling, traveling 1,300 feet south.
In the picture, it looks like that could be an open road, but in the map deal here, there's nothing going south of 10.
So if you look at the yellow, Don, the yellow represents what's open and what we're looking at signing there.
That's it. This almost looks like it's open.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Number 11 is Yearling Road, 21st and Yearling, traveling south to the gate.
Another full mile.
That's a half mile,
Oh, that's half mile?
2,600 feet, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's it.
They're just going down to that, get into those fields.
Yep. Number 12 is 21st Road. 21st is Zurich, traveling 1,300 foot to the west. Number 13 is Badura Road.
Pretty beans on down the road on the right side.
Yeah.
During the pictures.
And Badura and 20th traveling south for 2,700 feet. That road just ends at a hay meadow. '14 is Badura 18th and Verdure, going south 2,600 feet, a half mile. And the last one is Verdure, north of 16th, so basically after the residence driveway, this is the one that's got a house on it, so after the residence driveway, we'd be signing minimum maintenance for that 800 feet north of that house. So you can see the house on that map, on that second page.
Now, you know, we marked two of them that we need a resolution on. Are there others that need a resolution?
Yep, so today, this is what this is a resolution for all these that we've gone over.
Just make a resolution.
Yep, for
on
all 15 of these.
Okay.
Yep. So I think after talking with Heidi, I think, you know, there's been a lot going on in zoning, so I've been holding up on some of this stuff. And they're gonna have maybe put together a special meeting on the 14th, here for this. So basically that's what this is just commencing, for us to move forward and present this to zoning.
Well, and I know I stated this before, but just to reiterate to the public, the intention is not to change the service. If they have an issue with these roads, we're still gonna be willing to put some rock in a water hole.
That's correct. Our maintenance on these roads will not change. This just is simply to take care of the liability of these not being signed.
We're signing them to protect the county's
That's exactly right.
liability.
Yeah, the
That's all
maintenance,
that's changing.
with the same maintenance will be performed on these roads.
Right, that's just, you know,
So,
I
and
just
we,
wanna-
once these signs go up, we have people call in, and that's the perception, is
Just
we're not
trying
gonna
to
do
get-
anything, and that's not the intentions at all. It's
Yeah.
just the liability side of it.
I'm just trying to get that out there a little
Yep.
bit more again.
No, that's good.
Well, yes, motion to approve resolution number 2024-936, a resolution commencing proceedings to declare certain portions of roadways in the northeast quarter of the Coffee County, Kansas, as minimum maintenance routes.
I'd move.
I'll second. Moved by McCurry, seconded by Knight. Any discussion? Like Wade said, this is not changing any maintenance, it's just declaring the signs, getting the signage up, so on and so forth.
Correct.
To protect the county.
Correct.
So after this line, then the 14th would be the, public meeting, is that what?
So, yeah, the 14th will be when we'll I'll present this to zoning, and then the following Monday, would be the date that we would have, for the hearing here.
Okay. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
I guess, our 9:15's a no-show,
Okay.
so we'll just keep on cooking down the. Bobby, you got anything real quick? I do.
I will take these booklets back, I need these for zoning.
Nitty
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to have
Yeah, I don't wanna make any more copies.
No,
I
that's
want
good.
this paper too.
Sure.
And I still have mine somewhere.
No, that's fine, this is
What do you got, 2 quarters yet to present?
I
know we got.
yeah, there's, I mean, the southeast is what's left, and honestly, there's probably like 30 some, so I don't know. We may try to do that in one, but probably divide it in two, just because, you know, once this goes through, we only have 10 days to get the signage up. So probably look at splitting that one in two.
Yeah.
Get down around the river,
There's quite a few, yes.
We'll grab Bobby real quick, Ryan, and then start back with you.
All right.
That's all right.
I don't have an update. Thank you, Commissioners.
Good
Good morning.
Morning.
I don't have an update beyond what I presented last week, but this week I'll be working on trying to get SSM wrapped up. If everything goes right, they'll be totally sealed and delivered by the 7th. They'll close on the 1st. USDA should be able to deliver the funds by the 7th. And after that, they're off, rocking and rolling.
Good.
Very good.
It'll be good to see some
Some dirt move.
We'll get a subsolar out there and start.
I know I'm not gonna go out there with a shovel, that's for sure.
Need a little rain first.
Yeah, we got 2 inches yesterday.
Yep.
Yesterday afternoon.
I would.
Or not yesterday, Saturday.
It just set in Burlington, Waverly.
No, I didn't set it
Very
right.
low.
Where we had 2 100s.
I got 15.
Thanks for keeping us posted, Bobby, and
Think so?
let us know if anything changes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right, Ryan, you're back. Up, down, up, down. Good day.
Budget, so I know you guys are working at finishing up the budget. You know, I know you're looking, trying to cut or more, put it in paper, whittle down some.
Yes, sir.
So, lack of a better term, you know, that's, I've just got maybe a couple options from my side of it to help out there. You know, I don't know what you're looking at cutting or how much, but, you know, we've got a few different funds. One's our special bridge fund, which, you know, currently it's got around $6 million in that account. You know, those funds are used, basically for bridge replacements. By statute, those funds can only be used for maintenance and building of bridges. You know, as we recently just got our bridge inventories back from our new inspections, you know, we're kind of revamping our replacement list a little bit. You know, one that always comes up is the Leroy River Bridge down there, and just the amount that bridge is going to take to replace it. You know, nothing's really set in stone on a timeline for that. You know, at some point I'll be having some discussion, get an engineer involved, and we'll have a work session on what our bridge replacement program is going to be. You know, we've got 236 bridges. You know, they say a lifespan on bridges is 75 years. We have like 60 structures that were built from 1960 or before. So, you know, there's some replacements we need to do. We'll have some of that discussion later, but in my special bridge budget this year, I increased it by $1 million for that structure up on the Olivet Road that we're going to be building. It's in design right now. You know, really those funds that sit in a special bridge could be used for that. So we could back that budget off, $1 million there that I put in there, and just utilize the funds that we already currently have in special bridge.
What's currently in there? 5 or 6?
Around a little over 6, I think.
62, 300
On,
special bridge.
yeah, I don't know. I think it shows we got close to 7, but with some stuff that's coming out here before long, I think it's gonna be around 6 million. So,
Probably don't want to get it below 5 million.
well, I mean, that's just it. You don't wanna let that fund get too low, because it's, you know, when we have something come up and we need access, just like this bridge up there, you know, and I know once, you know, Wayne left a pretty good plan on bridge replacements. He left kind of a 5-year plan. We built 3 bridges last year. You know, so we're just re-looking at that and tweaking that a little bit on, okay, what's our next priorities need to be. You know, for me, I think posted structures, weight limits is a component to look at, in contrast to like our emergency routes, which is basically our evacuation routes. And, you know, kind of cross them two over and see, because there's a lot of structures on asphalt roads that's posted. So for me, those are a little more of a priority. So, you know, as I, speak of the devil, start working with a county engineer on some of this stuff, you know, like I said, there's a need for a work session on bridge replacements and what our plan is and moving forward, and then that way we can have some long-term projections on you know, what we're looking for cost on that. Because when you're talking, you know, there's structures anywhere from $150,000 to $4 million. I mean, it's, you know, you're talking a lot of dollars, there. But no, it's for the short term, you know, I think if I back that $1 million out of special bridge budget, we can utilize the funds that we have sitting in that account, and it won't be a problem for us next year. So basically, that would decrease the special bridge by 5% from what we got last year, if we do that. I think next we can talk about the special highway improvement fund. So we have some funds there. you know, those can be used for anything with your guys' approval, so, you know, currently, right now, you know, there's gonna be some stuff coming out, some change orders on Old 50, which will be minimal. You know, that's a shared project, funding project, and we're responsible for like 10% of the change orders.
Oh, okay.
So I know right now there's, you know, they got the first one coming probably next week, maybe we'll have that. It's gonna be for around $27,000 for our portion of it.
What's the change order there?
Basically, they're getting into a little more asphalt on the shoulder, just due to the placement where that curbing is. You know, it's not a true 2 foot, from the edge of the asphalt, it's not a true 2 foot, like it's gonna be a 2 foot, 4 inches, maybe average on that side or something like that.
So it's on relaying the asphalt?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Not digging up?
No, not digging up. No, this is just some projections on, you know, they're gonna give us a number, and it may or may not come to be that the change order will go through, but it's just, they want, getting everything in place, and, we have a meeting with them this week to look at that, and the inspectors, and go from there on that.
Do they feel comfortable after the widening issue is done, of the fog line being clear out at the end like it once was, or can it be backed in half of, what can a person do where it's a state funded? Is it gonna have to be back?
I think it's gonna be 12-foot lanes, which I really, Jesse, I think that's where you'll want it, just due to where that seam is, that point is actually laying out to where it's right on top of that concrete curb, which is, I think, a good thing, you know, after talking with the engineer inspector. So, you know, I think if you move that fog line in one way or the other, I think potentially you'd have traffic driving. It's not gonna matter where they drive, honestly, it's gonna hold up to anything, but.
I was just, if, where it was a safe road deal, I was afraid that they was gonna put it out 12 foot, and it was gonna put it right out there on the seam again.
Yeah.
And cause problems.
Yeah, and I mean, the questions I've asked, it sounds like it's gonna be 12 foot. I believe that may be a 6-inch line instead of 4 inch, not that that makes a hill of beans, but, on the fog lines.
Well, it sure, if it'll hold up, it sure be nice to have the 12 foot, because
It would.
heavy truck traffic that's on there, that 85.5 and 90,000 pound trucks that can't run on the interstate, they have to run on that
Right.
road, and man, it's trucks meeting trucks on there, it doesn't have a lot of room right now.
And there is a lot of traffic out there. I've watched that west, since we pulled the fog line in on that west section. People drive within the lines until they're meeting the truck.
Yeah.
And then, or when two trucks meet, and then they both expand out and give space in the middle. And
Right.
I think it works perfect.
Yeah.
And it's saved that shoulder out
Sure.
there this year a lot, I think.
I'm sure of that.
So basically, that, Special Highway Improvement Fund, you know, there's something there coming out. The 75 turn lanes project, you know, I'm anticipating 2025. I don't really have a good estimate on that, you know, what our cost will be on that quite yet. You know, maybe $500,000 roughly.
Did we already have that put back?
Well, yeah, I mean, that,
It's in
yes,
there, okay.
yeah, those funds are in there.
Okay.
Should we have anything on that?
It was cost share.
Yeah, it's cost share, I think it's 80/20, so, yeah, there'll be some cost on that for sure.
Now, I couldn't remember whether it's 80/20, 90/10, or what.
It's not 90/10,
Yeah.
it's at least 80/20. Then other than that, there's, you know, I talked to you guys about another asphalt project late season this year on Angus. I don't know that that's gonna happen, but, you know, estimating like 1.2 coming out of those funds. You know, with that being said, there's roughly a couple million left in that account. Left in there. You know, I know this year I did increase our asphalt, what I asked for our asphalt program by 500,000.
Yeah.
From 1.5 up to 2. You know, I'm comfortable we could back that back off to 1.5 like we've done in the past. And,
Well, my concern is, like I said last week, you weren't here, but to me, it's just kind of like a roof on a building. A lot of these roads need resealed, and I don't like taxes any more than anyone else, but, you know, there's got to be a happy medium there that we try to protect the investment
no,
we got.
and that's exactly right. And I don't think it's to the point that we need that money this year, okay? I think at the end of the year, you know, like last year, as we got to the end of the year, you know, we transferred a lot of money back into the equipment fund, you know, so this year, you know, we get to the end of the year, we may probably roll a little more, like if we, special highway or something there, if we're gonna utilize a little more money out of there, or not fund the asphalt as much, and we're gonna have to pull more of that money out, you know, I think that'd be a good thing to do there. I don't, you know, equipment's the other side, but I hate to cut our equipment budget request that I've got, you know, for this year.
Right.
Just,
Well,
I've explained to you guys where we're at with that.
I
I hate to see
understand.
you do that.
You know, if we have to, we will, but I don't, you know, I think here's a couple good options, you know, that I can cut our budget $1.5 million from what
That's fine.
we turn in for.
That's fine.
And,
That's what I thought.
it's not gonna impact us. I think this will be good.
Right.
You know, if there's something beyond this, it'd take a little more tweaking, a little more looking at. I'm not saying it can't be done, but, definitely easier than not right now.
Well, like I said, when I talked to you last Monday, you know, last thing we wanna do is raise taxes.
No,
You know,
absolutely.
and, but
Absolutely.
also, we don't want our roads deteriorating, we don't want our equipment failing, you know, and everything snowballs, you know, it's a snowball effect, and so, I just wanted to discuss and.
And we've made really good strides on our equipment, you know, you don't wanna be too aggressive, but, I mean, you wanna definitely be making steps in the right direction, and in the last 2 years,
But you were behind.
you guys, well, yeah, and we still are, but
Right.
we're in a lot better shape right now than what we
Yeah.
were 2 years ago. Yeah, so.
How's the trucks coming along? Did you guys, we ordered had trucks to cancel the order?
We got one that's, being built right now. I'm not for sure on delivery date. I know they were getting updated on that here, last week. And then there's another truck that, as soon as the budget approvals are done and we get in 2025, the first of the year, they've got a truck waiting to be built at the first of the year. So it's already spoken for.
Is it coming in cheaper than the other ones? Because truck prices have dropped dramatically,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
and there's no wait. I mean, you order a truck today, you better be ready for it in 30 days.
Well, there hasn't been no pricing agreed on that. We just know if we have a truck spoken for, as far as what that cost is, it's not,
Okay.
there's nothing in place there.
Yeah, they're available now.
They're available. They're calling and begging for orders
Well,
right
if we
now.
take, you know, take $1.5 million off of next year's budget, that almost cuts the original increase in half.
Yep.
Because that takes the increase from 57 mils to 62 mils is 3.15, or 3.15 million, so it almost takes half. And I know Angie was working on some others, and I'm not sure whether she discovered anything that would work or not.
So we're getting a lot closer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know if we, like's been said, you know, if we cut it too much, we know what's gonna happen down the road. And with Woodford, last year paid 83% of our mill levy, of our taxes. That's a big enough budget, we don't know. We don't know where it's gonna continue to go down or not, but this year we was fortunate enough that it did come up, so.
Yeah, they went down, what, 44 million or whatever
40
last year.
utilities.
A year ago,
A year
44.
ago, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
44 million, and,
So that's what kind of shocked us into the place we're dealing with now.
so this year they were up, you know, I don't know, 10 or 12 million,
Yeah.
but,
So, all right, yeah, so,
We can, I mean, like I say, you know, when we visited, you said you thought you had a little room to work, so I thought it wouldn't hurt to come in and see what we could come
no,
up
for
with.
the short term, absolutely. Like
And-
I
and
said,
knowing-
it's nothing that's gonna affect us next year, but a couple years down the road.
Right,
The
we need
intentions
to,
on where that money's gonna be
we
spent, so.
need to remember this this time next year and realize that 2 years in a row, you've kinda helped out,
That you've squeezed for us.
squeezed
Yeah.
for us, and so we might have to increase it next year.
We'll
you know, or
see.
2 years, so.
We'll see, hopefully not.
Well,
Hopefully
we
not.
appreciate your efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for
you know,
grinding gears.
that river bridge at Leroy, which it looks pretty good on top, I know the issues are on the bottom, but there's so many more 80 and 90,000 pound semis going across that compared to even 2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We got signs on it. Signs don't do any good. To make that bridge last longer, what's gonna be done?
Well, that would be a question for an engineer.
Well, he's got one back here.
You know, as far as the load ratings, you know, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, a lot of that comes off of the design of the bridge. You know, they have the design of the bridge plus the condition of it, and that gives them a load rating. So, you know, a bridge may look good, but it's all in the design, I believe. Good.
No, you're great, you're spot on, it's in the design, but it's also in the latest inspection report and conditions. There's a lot of times, you probably all have seen them before, when our inspectors look at a bridge, there's stuff you see underneath, or you see really when you're looking at how spalling might happen with concrete, or rebar that might be showing, or the conditions that really aren't visible from the surface, and those are all factors that go into how a bridge is rated for its load rating.
So we just spent $500,000 or $600,000 on it 2 years or 3 years ago, and there's probably 50 spots on the top for where it's all redone.
Yeah,
To the
and
point
there wasn't
that
that
now
much,
we've covered
there
that.
wasn't that much spent on that one bridge. That was over 7 bridges, but,
But it's $1 million over 3 of them.
yeah, I think there were five or six bridges that we had resurfaced.
But they did a lot of work on it, and then they covered all that up, and then,
How's the road inspected? Is that a yearly thing on?
Biannual, every 2
Every
years.
2
We
years.
have one structure that has to be inspected every year.
I see, but normally it's a 2-year thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked down underneath of it. It doesn't look bad from the bottom to me, but I'm a farmer. But Tom explained to me at that time, one time when we discussed it before, that part of it is like the condition of the concrete. They can test
Yes.
like ultrasound or something,
Yes.
and they can tell that concrete isn't, I mean, to me it looks good.
Right.
On the
The
bottom
eye,
side of it.
they are really good, but there's a way to test it, it's called sounding devices that can test for for lack of a better term, I'll call it the solidness of the concrete or the condition of concrete.
Uh-huh.
You know, over time, when you treat roads during the winter, you've got salt conditions, you've got different conditions with weight, and those are all factors of wear and tear on your bridges. You know, in most cases, you're trying to get an average life of a bridge is around somewhere between 30 and 50 years, is about the average life of a bridge. But again, a lot of that depends on the weights that are going over it and the condition of taking care of the road over time. So
Right.
those are all factors, but you're very much right. It's not all about visual. There are ways to determine if you've got other things going on inside the bridge.
Right. Thank you.
Keith, you heard anything on Creek Bridge?
No, not yet.
Time that they're gonna.
No, not yet. Probably next week I'll have the detour route and all that information. It's just, that's a next year project. I don't even know when it goes to bed. But as far as the detour stuff and some of the stuff that we had that meeting with, I'll have that information next Monday.
Need to make some plans on that, because that's really gonna mess traffic up.
Yeah.
Really mess. 58, really.
When I was at the Gridley City Council, I had a question brought up about, you're familiar with Railroad Street in Gridley that goes alongside of Jones Park and then goes out and turns into Emmer after it curves. When you turn west you're in town, so people are to assume that you're 20 or 30 mile an hour, but there's no speed limit sign there, but then there's the curve sign down there while you're still in town that says 40 mile an hour curve. I didn't know if it would be appropriate if there was a 30 mile an hour sign before that, or if that curve sign could be changed to 30, because it kind of implies that, hey, you're going 45 and you got to slow down to 40 for this curve.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It was just a question that was brought up.
So are they thinking there should be a speed limit sign in the city limits area then, or?
It was just a comment
Okay.
to ask you about that. And then afterwards, someone made the comment, well, the city can take care of that, but I think that is a county-maintained road, is that correct?
We maintain the surface, at least the surface on that, I think, but I don't know
Okay.
beyond that, what we maintain for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I realize it probably is a 40-mile-an-hour curve, but it's kind of misleading that you turn the corner and the only thing you can see is that you gotta slow down for 40 for the curve, you know? And they have apparently a considerable amount of people driving through there too fast.
Okay.
Is a pretty popular opinion.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the location, but I would say if it's within the city limits, typically the city will be the one passing the ordinance for speed limit, even though you may have a maintenance agreement where the county is taking care of the surface.
Okay,
Typically, if it's, again, I don't know exactly, but if it's inside the city limits,
it is.
then it would be, the city could ask for a, like we do, Ryan's called this before, we'll do a speed check, a speed study, or you can make some adjustments to speed limits. That's something maybe the county, if you wanted the county engineer to provide some technical expertise, we could do it, but it would be the city passing an ordinance to adjust the speed limit.
Okay, when you come in from the south and then head south, you know, you're heading northeast into town, there's a 30-mile-an-hour sign there at the west edge of town.
Okay.
As you're coming into town, but there's none when you're leaving 58 highway on this same road going the other way. So I'm assuming it's a 30-mile-an-hour limit already, it's just that it's not posted.
Yeah, and again, they could check their ordinances, because if the limits are set, you know, the boundary limits are set already, then you may be correct, and it could be just a matter of posting a sign.
Okay.
It's really kind of on them to say, if it's inside the city limits, and we've already had an ordinance that says this is the limits of that 30-mile-an-hour district, then it's a matter of posting a sign.
So this 40-mile-an-hour sign on a curb that's in a 30-mile-an-hour zone,
Is obsolete.
can that be changed, or is that, I
Yeah.
realize it's saying that there's a 40-mile-an-hour curve coming up,
So is
but
that still in the city limits, Wade, or is that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it and
Sign is.
see the exact placement of them signs, but it's, yeah.
So if it was still in the city limits, then that would be up to the city to change.
Yeah, yes, but I would say too, typically, again, I can't recall the spot location right now. but
Right.
Typically on a curb sign, because the sign color is yellow, or that's called a warning sign. It's not necessarily a speed limit sign, it's just telling you, hey, look, you need to be going at a maximum of 40 miles an hour for this curve.
I understand.
So there's some room there to look at that and make that adjustment if it's needed. But typically, there's a tool that's very simple we use. It's called a ball link indicator. You have it in your car, and you drive it, and it determines what speed is the proper speed to take a curve. And somewhere along the line, probably somebody did that. So
I'm not saying that that's incorrect for the curve, but
It's kind of
If it-
ridiculous.
if
You
it-
got
if it
30
could
on
be-
one end, 30 on the
yeah,
other.
if it could be
40 mile
posted
on
at 30 mile an hour for the curve, and maybe that's not allowable because the curve's good for more than that. You see my point?
Right. I'll get with them down there and see the exact placement of them signs,
Okay,
and go from there.
okay, very good.
I see the confusion.
So you gotta have some of that, so.
I get it.
No, that's all I got, guys.
That's all I got. I don't have anything, I don't think. How's the big transformer was going down the road today?
Hopefully it's
880,000 pounds, is that correct?
I think it was a little less than that, but yeah, it was,
Wow.
I was told 440 tons, so.
okay. Yeah, it's big, but that's, once in a while Wolf Creek gets in, we've had 4 or 5 in the last 10 years that I can think of.
Where did this one go? Wolf Creek?
Wolf Creek, yeah.
Did it take 20
Third?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one route for those heavy loads that, you know, I know they were questioning why they couldn't just run down the Autobahn. Well, there's structures that won't, you know, hold up to the loads. Every time those come in, we send their information, load information off to the engineers, and they review it and basically get the okay to cross the structures that it has to cross.
Yeah, I figured that 2-inch rain over the weekend might have a little issue with their gravel
Yeah.
road travels.
Yeah. But there's no structures on that
Right.
road. There's one little box culvert down by Steve Strouder's, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of breaks going down Steve Strouder's hill, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Might be a mess at the bottom of that hill.
A lot of accidents.
The weight of the transformer and the weight of the truck that it takes to haul
Yeah.
something that
I
heavy.
told my guys that they was gonna come in for a tire rotation while they was loading it. Tell him to keep on going.
Did you count the axles?
No, I didn't, there's too many of them. Couldn't take my shoe off at the same time, driving down the road. So,
All right.
very well,
Appreciate you guys.
thanks Ryan.
Hey,
Thanks,
before
Ryan.
you leave, can I ask a question? Do we know when the, hearing is on this resolution?
Well, so I'm dealing with zoning on the 14th, and then the following Monday, for as far as the hearing here.
The public hearing and the commissioner?
Downstairs.
Oh, downstairs?
No. I mean, this will be for the approval time of it, correct?
Says we shall hold a public hearing in the blank on the blank day of, blank hour, for the purpose of considering whether any of the information should be declared to be criminal nature.
Yeah. This would be the one that's gonna be scheduled here on the 19th.
On the 19th,
Okay, 19th day of August.
yes, August 19th, Monday, August 19th.
And whatever time.
Normally we do those at 10 a.m., normally.
Yeah, your meeting was zoning on the 14th, right?
Correct.
And then the 19th would be the,
And Heidi will give her recommendations to you guys on what the zoning board had. Yeah, next round of them.
And that's all, okay.
Yeah, you gotta sign that, don't you?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're all right.
Hold you up there.
All of us just gotta sign.
Yes.
Amber?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, get this resolution signed, then we'll be ready for you, ma'am. How's your summer been?
Not too bad.
Good.
How was your trip?
Awesome.
That's good.
Sad I had to come home.
Great.
Once in a lifetime.
I might get it one more time.
No, I know, but I just mean everything,
Yeah.
your parents going with you
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
After you know that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know, my folks are in their mid-70s, you know, they was there 7 years ago and dreamed they wanted to go back, and so I'm blessed that they're in good enough health to
Yep.
go, so. Actually, I had to go to the emergency room in Banff, British Columbia. My wife had to go to, see like a nurse practitioner in, Stewart, British Columbia, so.
Wow.
The younger people are falling apart, and the
And
older
your
people
parents.
are in good shape.
They got along
Oh,
good, huh?
yeah, they- no problem at all.
I'm in good shape. Take me next time.
Get you next time, yeah. One of the prettiest places we've seen is Banff, BC. Have you ever seen the Swiss Alps? Alps, that's it. That's where it's at.
I want to see it. I really do.
So, we're ready for you, ma'am.
Okey doke. Just update. No, not asking for any money this week.
Can you trim any? That's the next question.
Didn't take long to pull your
I think that eye roll. I should have something in her eye.
So we are update on our Wolf Creek exercise this year. We're waiting to hear from the state and Wolf Creek on participation in what would have been a full-scale hostile action-based drill this October. we had this plan for about a year now, but the state's been waiting on Wolf Creek to give them some information on this drill so we can get it planned. Because it is a hostile action-based drill, it involves the law enforcement piece. It's very critical to have this planned way ahead of time, to have it nailed down, because when you're asking the FBI to come play in a drill, you're asking the KBI, and even our local law enforcement, you're taking some very important people away from their jobs. You want to make sure it's worth their time, and the state doesn't really feel that planning something this late in the game, because this was spring outage, so they've been busy with outage, and then things have come up, and they're just now starting to kind of plan this drill for October, and it's August. Like, August is this week. So we're looking to see if it's even going to happen or not, but we may have a regular drill, we may have no drill at all. That's my preference. I would like to take the year off, because we drilled a lot last year, and we're going to be graded next year. So my personal opinion, which I let the state and Wolf Creek know, is to take the year off and just not practice. Maybe we could do training. That'll give me more time to do EOC role training for everybody, and then finish up all the projects that we have going on, because it's been a busy year. So I'm waiting to hear back from them on that. So we don't know what's going to happen.
So we're gonna have to kind of look ahead of the trends from moving from the courthouse to the sheriff's office, or the new sheriff's.
Yeah, we've
jail.
been talking to the sheriff about how that's going to work. Yeah, because there still will be a sheriff in the EOC, but we won't have dispatch right there.
Right.
But we do believe that we can still communicate with dispatch, whether we set up video conferencing, whether we just have an open telephone line with them, or however we do that. But yeah, we've been kind of talking about how that's going to look once they do move over there.
So this drill would involve FBI, and so would it involve Homeland Security then also?
Yeah, they are part of it, yeah. Yeah.
So if they're just now starting to plan.
Yeah. It's kind of, we usually, the Homeland Security exercise and evaluation program, HC, that we follow, the state and county follow, say that you should start planning exercises a year out.
Oh, wow.
And have planning meetings. Well, they haven't. They've had maybe one planning meeting, and we still don't know a whole lot. So we just want to make sure that everything is good before we have this exercise. We're not sure that it's going to be good yet.
Right.
So.
Our last one wasn't hostile. Our last one was hostile, was it?
Mm-mm.
The people, boots on the ground, and
Right, but it wasn't necessarily a hostile action-based drill. There was stuff going on, but it wasn't like where we call out and they shut down and we turn into a crime scene type thing. And that's where they're headed with
So on the hostile, then is FEMA involved in on that?
Yeah, FEMA evaluates
I mean,
us.
Right.
Well, for this exercise in October, they won't be, because it's not evaluated.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it'll just be us, Wolf Creek, and the state. FEMA evaluates us, and the NRC evaluates Wolf Creek. So since this isn't evaluated, the NRC and FEMA won't be involved. So, I mean, it's not a serious thing if we don't have this drill, but, and practice is always good. I've always said, practice
It'd be
makes you
nice-
better.
It'd be nice to take a year off.
It would be nice to have the time off, because if not, I have to squeeze in all of our EOC role training between now and October, which is not a big deal. I usually can get it done in a couple weeks, but I would just like to have a little bit of breathing room. But we'll see. Either way, we'll be okay. And there's a possibility that if they do a full-scale exercise, it won't be a HAB. It might just be a regular drill, and then we can decide whether we even want to participate, because we don't have to since we're not evaluated. It could just be me playing the entire county in the EOC like I normally do when we don't participate. So we'll see. Updates on towers. We are currently working with the highway department on a survey for Gridley and Lebo sites. Once those are complete, then we can get back with Wade and start the land acquisition process, because we'll know more of the area of land that we need to purchase and what we need to do on everything as far as easements and stuff like that. Martin is working with Motorola to see when we need to pay the first installment of that 25% of the full price, because if you remember that chart, it said 25% due at signing, and then 60% due when all the stuff comes in. So that first payment should be coming up due, which we have in the capital improvement fund, so we're covered there. I don't know when it's due. They said at signing, we've already signed it, so, and they haven't sent us an invoice, so. We did get electric ran out to our building out at the landfill, so now we have lights and the ability to plug in tools and things.
You ran that from the other building there then?
No, we didn't end up running it from the other building. We ran it from the pole because there is a storm shelter there, and they would have to go all the way around the storm shelter.
But it came from an existing meter?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't
Did
think
they put a
Because
transformer?
I don't.
Because we were trying to avoid another.
We were. I'll have to get back with you on that. I didn't go out there when they were doing it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get back with you on that one, Lee, 'cause,
Okay.
I don't remember how they did that.
How many they ran from the existing?
Well, that's what we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember how they did it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it.
So they had something they had to go around.
Yeah, and it was gonna cost more to go.
We're talking about coming from the scale house or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so they had to change
Yeah.
where they were coming from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I
there is
just
a,
hated to see us have another meter.
Right.
To run a light bulb,
right,
you know.
right. Well, and we're looking at, so part of the reason of getting electric there, and part of the, aside from having lights in there, we need to move our command bus out of Station 8. It's been taking up room in the fire station forever, and they want it out of there. And I don't want to see it sitting out in the elements. I'd like to keep it covered, so we're going to move it out to the landfill building. And then we're going to start cleaning up that building. We're storing a lot of stuff for other offices out there that probably needs to find other homes. But once the equipment for the tops of the towers starts coming in, not the towers themselves, that can sit outside, but the electrical components and all the radio stuff, once that starts coming in, we have to have somewhere to house all that stuff. So we need to have some space in our building to be able to put that stuff in a secure area. So.
But for electrical, if I recall, you
Uh-huh.
said you didn't need 240.
No.
120 was all you
Yeah.
were gonna need.
Yeah.
Was my recollection.
Yeah.
Would Todd have any room in his building that he's got his chemicals in?
Oh, I don't know.
I've never been back in the back side of that
Mm-mm.
to see how much,
He doesn't have,
room he's got.
Yeah.
he doesn't have any room out there.
Yeah, I doubt they have much room.
The command,
Does the airport have any vacant spaces? Or they got it all filled with planes?
Oh, I don't know. We don't need like a ton of space.
I wouldn't think you'd need it.
No, it's just going to be like the 6-packs that come, and they'll come like one at a time. We
Okay.
just need, a corner of the building to put it in.
I wouldn't think it'd be a huge amount.
No, because all the tower, the railing and stuff, that can sit outside, because it's going to be outside anyway. But the electrical components, once they ship that stuff, I didn't want to bring it down and put it in our storeroom down here, because what's the point? So, we can house all that stuff.
the command bus,
Mhm.
it's not used, I mean,
No, it's usable.
is it, okay.
Yep, it's not preferred, but it's usable.
No, okay.
If it's hot or it's cold and we're out in the elements, you would want it. Yeah.
The last time it was used, I think, was
Uh-huh.
at, John Redmond on,
Yeah.
on the recovery,
Yep.
that's been several, or
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago.
The radio equipment on it will probably need some updates, or, it might not be as usable as it was before, now that we've upgraded all of our radios.
Right.
We looked at upgrading that, and actually the talk last year was to try to replace that command bus. You know, we talked about it in the radio
Right.
committee meeting, and then it got kinda out of hand.
Yeah, I remember that.
The wish list got really big, and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
And that's under emergency preparedness.
yeah, the command bus is under us. It's kind of a joint, I mean, anybody can use it that needs it, if it's fire, if it's law enforcement, if it's, you know, whatever. But it was just kind of a mobile command unit for any, you know,
Any incident.
any incident,
Right,
yeah.
and that was originally funded by Homeland Security
Yep.
money, I mean, after 9/11,
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've just kind of, over the years, done work on it. It's in good shape,
It's
motor's
still
good.
viable,
Yes.
it's still viable.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yep, yeah, Tim goes and takes it, him and Martin take it for a test spin every once in a while, get it going,
Loosen it up a little bit.
loosen it up a little bit, yeah. But, Station 8 wants it out of there, and I don't blame them, because anytime they gotta get some of their trucks out, they have to move it out, and, you know, it's a bus, it doesn't move quick, so, we're hoping to get that out in our building.
Okay.
What's up at the 75-50 intersection? What's room up there? Is there still 2 fire trucks in there?
Plus,
3.
there's three, yeah, there's 3 truck, there's a brush
Engine.
truck, 2,
Engine and a tank.
yeah, the tank.
And then,
And then the sheriff's department has their big Papa Bear, big green,
Emergency,
Oh, SWAT vehicle?
yeah,
Oh,
it's in
okay.
there too.
whatever they call it.
It's in there too. So, we're probably gonna have to stick one of our little trailers that we have up there. We've got, several trailers that we're housing in that building. I think we're gonna trade one of those out. It's like a shelter trailer or something, I don't know what it is, but, and put it up there. Cause we've had a trailer up there for a long time, and we moved it to Emporia, cause that's where it's gonna be used. So we're gonna have another trailer up at the JSB, but there's not room for the bus up there unless we kick out a fire truck, and I really don't wanna kick out a fire truck.
yeah, that's used a lot.
Yes, so,
Once upon a time, you was talking about somebody wanting to put a container
yeah,
on the
they scrapped
west
that
side.
idea, yeah.
Okay.
I believe the last I heard, it was the National Guard. I believe the last I heard they were gonna get a trailer and haul their stuff. Or leave it down there and leave it outside, one or the other. But, yeah, they're not building on our building anymore, which wasn't a great idea to begin with, but.
Well, they're gonna put a container out there and
Yeah.
store their stuff in the container.
Well, at first they talked about adding on our
Adding on,
building,
right.
then they talked about a container, and then now I think they're gonna get a trailer so that they can haul their stuff there. Keep waiting, maybe they won't do anything. I don't know. We're just trying to catch up. There's been a lot of severe weather, there's been a lot of things come up that weren't anticipated, so it's kind of knocked some of our plans and procedures back. Julie and I are gonna start working on the Wolf Creek procedures this week, and then we're gonna start working on Woodson County Post County Plan. Tim is taking over some dosimetry responsibilities from KDM. The dosimetry that you guys wear down in the EOC, that stuff has to be calibrated, and it has to be sent off to a lab to be calibrated. And so Tim was having to go up and trade out with KDM constantly up in Topeka, but now KDM has made it so that Tim is responsible for all of our dosimetry for the county. He will mail it off, KDM will pay for it. He mails it to the lab, and then it comes right back to us. So we won't have to trade out anything, we won't have to go up there, and we are in charge of making sure our dosimetry is done on time. Whereas in the past, we've been having to wait on someone else, and Tim gets really antsy when it gets close to due date. So now we're in charge of our own stuff, and that's a pretty good deal. That's all I have. Did you guys have any questions for me? Were there any budget questions that you guys had or anything?
Unless you got any negative signs on it.
Not yet.
Trying to cut where we can cut.
Yeah, I know. So the radio budget went up a little bit, and my EM budget went up a little bit. The JSB went up a little bit too. We are paying for utilities on the sirens, which was something that we hadn't factored in my budget last year. We didn't have that factored in, but this year we've got it. It's about $50 per month per site. So, and it's not all sites. The cities, I believe, are paying for some of the city sirens, and then we're splitting the rest of them up between Evergy and Four Rivers. The bill just comes to me and we pay it. That was something that I hadn't factored in, but so I did have to bump that part up a little bit. That's all I have.
Yeah, very good. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you the next time.
Yep.
Take care.
Take care. You too.
I'll take a 10-minute break, would you all?
Be fine.
It'd be good, take a 10-minute break, come back at 10:26.
It's just a quick one, actually. Good morning. I know it's been a while. I heard you were up in Alaska.
Alaska, Canada, yep.
Yeah. My wife and I did a 8-day Alaskan cruise, and so probably didn't see as much as you, but we saw a lot. It's amazing.
Yeah. You go to Skagway?
No, we did Sitka, Ketchikan, and Juneau.
Juneau, yeah.
And then we were the first cruise, at least they told us, that of the season that was able to get all the way up to the Upper Glacier. That was absolutely
awesome.
Incredible. It's just incredible.
They're huge.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's massive. And then they tell you you're still a mile and a half away, and it looks like it's right on top of you.
Yeah, and there's just as much, if not more, underneath the water as up on top of the water.
Yeah.
Above the water.
Yeah,
As far as the footage of ice. I think they said there were some glaciers. We did a flyover there in Talkeetna, Mount McKinley.
Yeah.
And they said some of those glaciers were like 2,500, 3,000 feet thick.
It's amazing. It's hard to imagine that.
Yeah.
So.
When I was there, we turned into a bay, and they're like, well, you're looking at it away, and there's this little boat down there.
Yeah.
The time we got down there, that was a huge yacht.
Yeah.
This thing's so big, it just doesn't look.
It's funny. That's an interesting perspective, because they had, you could do the boat that takes you closer, and we didn't sign up for that, but that gives you the perspective when you see that ship up there, and you're still a mile and a half away, and it's a.
Yeah, when we got down there, it's like,
Wow.
this looks like some little fishing boat down there. When we get down there, and it's a huge yacht.
Pretty amazing. So, well, my update is real quick. I wanted to let you know, and this is actually for you to wait. I'll be sending you something. I on behalf of the county, I was invited to sit in on the RAISE grant recipient webinar that the U.S. Department of Transportation, they sponsored. It was last week. It was kind of just to congratulate you for winning, a RAISE grant, walk you through a little bit of the process. And the main thing was there's an agreement that will be done between the county and the U.S. Department of Transportation. I downloaded that agreement. I'll send it to you for your review. And then there's some instructions too, so I'll just 2 documents to send. The process takes a little bit of time, as I mentioned before, so this is step 1 is, once you review it and then however, comment, concur, whatever, we would probably then, they have a designated individual in the U.S. Department of Transportation that will be our contact. And then my thought is if you and I communicate, then I can set up a video call with them to go to the next steps. The one thing I did learn that I need to make you aware of is they emphasize very strongly that any expenditures prior to the agreement being solved are non-reimbursable. So as you're on call, we can do some of these assignments to move the agreement along. I think we're going to need to do, someone's going to need to do that. I just wanted to make you aware of that. I don't know the full extent of what that is yet, but I wanted to make you aware of that. There will be the process of getting the agreement in place. Typically, because yours is a planning design agreement, it takes a little less time to get it activated, but I still expect this might take anywhere from 2 to 4 months just through the federal process. But the sooner we get moving, the sooner we can activate that. I have not gone to meet with the city councils. I kind of thought we ought to get this process moving first, so there's a little more knowledge of what it entails. It was a great welcoming to Coffee County and the other recipients in the country that were awarded funds.
So if I hear you correctly, what you're saying is we was awarded money for engineering, for basically the engineering costs of the trails, right?
Yes.
But anything that you do before the grant is presented is not reimbursable to the county.
Correct.
But this is a grant that is only paid. Does it pay for 100%? 100% of the engineering.
Yes.
And there's not enough money within that engineering side to absorb the pre-application, I guess? Does that make sense?
It's a federal rule that we can't claim it before the agreement. It's not that there aren't dollars in there to do it. I can't charge, so to speak, and then have an invoice that predates the agreement date. So the work we would be doing has nothing to, it's not engineering, it's administrative. It's to get the agreement through the process. So again, I don't anticipate that to be a huge expense. I really don't, but I don't know what that number is. My experience in the past, it's not a huge effort. It's just really a lot is going to be on what Wade sees in the agreement, how we bring the agreement forward to you all for signature, and then work from there. So there is plenty of money in the agreement to do the work of the scope of the work and administer the contract. We just can't claim those dollars before the agreement's in place.
Can you do any work or much work saving dated at a later date? Or is that
Probably
pushing the block too far?
I think that's pushing the block too far. In this case, it sounds like they're auditing, and my familiarity with the federal process, their auditing process is pretty thorough. And so, even to the extent of calendars, like if I send a calendar invite to Wade that we need to discuss the agreement, then they'll ask for all that documentation.
And you'll know the dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We better not jeopardize
Yeah.
the rest of the money.
Yeah, so, I think in the grand scheme of things, I consider it a small trade-off for the $2.65 million to do the design work. I don't see it as a big number. What I could do for you all is I could put a budget together just so you kind of number. That then I can target, like you've had me do before, is kind of do a task order, and then I can probably get that to you for next week's meeting. Because for now, I just need to send him the paperwork, let Wade start looking it over. I don't need to have our folks do anything right now until that's reviewed. But I could put a small budget together. At least then you would have something we can target and then go from there.
I think it'd be good to have that.
I do too.
Okay. That's easy enough to do.
It probably wouldn't take too long to put that together.
No. It's just I'll use the standard, contract letter I've used that you guys have been seeing from me the last several times. And I'll even put in there like the number of hours I'm anticipating, that kind of thing, and we'll put a number to it.
Appreciate everything you do, Steve.
Yeah. Then I think once we do that, then I'll throw some hours in there for like the city councils, because I do think they're going to need to eventually want to know what's going on, even during the agreement process. But again, that's something I'll handle on my own. I won't involve my staff in that. Where I'll involve my staff is more when we finally start getting the details into the agreement, and that won't be a lot of effort. It's just we've already written the scope. It's the application, so it's just to confirm with the. And I don't know exactly what the comments are going to be back from the federal government, so we'll work from there. That was the main update I had today for you guys. Be happy to field any questions about any other things that we've continued to work on with TEM on their project. We've continued to have the weekly meetings with the Lieutenant Governor's office of the state of Kansas.
How's that going?
My read is it's going very well. The Lieutenant Governor made it very clear that this is a top priority for the state of Kansas. They have involved their key people that work for the state of Kansas in Washington, D.C. So as they're trying to do everything they can to assist getting a positive answer sooner rather than later.
Do we think the actions that happened a couple Sundays ago is going to derail the presenting of the possibilities of the funding of it?
Or maybe delay if possible.
I don't know that it's gonna. I think it might. This is my opinion, so this is my opinion. I think it actually might help because with November looming, I would imagine this administration is going to want to make some positive things happen. Yeah.
That was one thought I had.
Yeah.
I hope that's the way it goes.
And at this point, this process is not in Congress's hands. It's in the Department of Commerce's hands and the administration's hands. So that's
and the president's.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that it potentially gives a better path to get a decision sooner than later. I do know TEM, again, we're working under Burns and Mack, your direction. They put together a very thorough schedule of what needs to happen. And that's what TEM and the Lieutenant Governor's office are following that schedule to try to bring this thing home. So I feel like it's progressing. One last thing, Carl Lee, I should mention, you got me thinking now, that Carl Lee and I have had an additional follow-up meeting with the Kansas Water Office to we hadn't engaged them in over a year. They were starting to ask questions of where you guys at, so the timing in the Lieutenant Governor's office, all the folks said it's time to start getting people at least reintroduced to the project because we know it's going to have to kick. When awarded, it's going to go, and so that initial meeting went well, and so we're working with the existing numbers we have from TEM to look at alternative solutions. I guess the one thing I do, when you take vacation, and then I was sick for a week, so my brain went dead for a while. But I know that Tom had mentioned too that the county had made the commitment that if the grant funding for the water study didn't get done by the state of Kansas, the county was committed to doing that. I probably also owe you that scope of where we had done it up before, but bring that to you because I do think we're going to need that study, regardless of the work being done by Wholesale 12 in conjunction. Coffee 3's got something that needs to be done. The city of Burlington still has some.
There's water issues within the county to begin with.
Yeah. So
without the plant going.
You got it, thank you. And so I think we probably need to activate that, and the timing would be good because that work will play into the TEM work, so we can get this thing going. So let me get both of those things together for you, and then get them in front of you.
Years ago, people, USDA, they'd help with the funding to put up a detention dam or to retain water somewhere. There hasn't been anything like that built in this area for decades. And that's one thing that I really think needs to be looked into, more water, catching of more runoff waters.
I'm gaining a lot more knowledge of this area over the last 2 years on water. You know, what's available in the Neosho Basin, what's available from the north. The Marie Scene still is in play. You know, these may seem like they're a distance away, but there's water sources that we need to consider. So, you know, this county is growing. You have things going on. So, and frankly, around you, there's not nearly the growth that's happening in this county. So, it's an issue that will have to be examined further.
That water in the Neosho River Basin is pretty tight.
It is tight.
It is.
It is tight. And it has a lot of users. That's the bigger issue. A lot of city users that it's not just you know, it's not just rural Kansas. There's you know, southeast Kansas is actually a reasonably populated area for what's called a rural part of the state. And so that basin is very vital. Yeah, it's tight. So anyway, I'll get those together and be back in touch with you guys. Good deal. I guess it won't be Monday for me. I am off on Monday, but I'll be back within 2 weeks.
You just got back from vacation. Why you need off Monday?
I know. Well, put it this way, short story is, I have teenage granddaughters, believe it or not. I'm of that age. So, we, for Christmas, we said we'd take them to New York City. They've never been to New York City, so we're gonna.
Okay, right.
You know.
That's abusive. That's abuse right there.
They're excited, so we're taking them for a long weekend to New York.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So anyway, we got 3 granddaughters that are, at least they're very excited. So we're gonna take them to a Broadway show. And
Oh, you'll have. That'll be fun.
You'd have a good time. So.
Get me there screaming and kicking. So the way I'd go.
Well, I'll fill you in.
Have fun.
All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Send that to you. How many pages is it?
I think 38. Well, that extended our agenda by 1, but we're still done with our agenda for the day. Today's checks and vouchers. Got anything else in there? I don't know.
Not particularly.
Okay. What's this? Resolution.
Oh, we were good.
Yeah. We went that way.
I got it.
Guess we're at round table before we sign checks and vouchers. Wait.
The municipalities fight addiction, that the opioid epidemic, and from time to time checks will show up. The new thing that I have deals with a new request to participate in a new settlement action. And when everything started, Huguenin was the chairman and everything went under Huguenin. I have a new one that deals with Kroger, and I'm not sure how many more there'll be, but this is one that recently came in, and I need to sign the county up, but what I'm asking for is permission from the commission, or the board, that I sign up, that I be the point of contact, so that when these come in, that it can all go through me, and then when it comes in, it will be, it's not changing anything, just so I don't have to keep coming in and asking to do this. This is a new one, and you can see the document that has to be filled out. I printed it off. It basically says subdivision participation and release form, governmental entity, Coffee County, authorized signatory. And I'm asking that for the purposes of filling out these documents and sending them in so Coffee County can participate, that I be allowed to sign on behalf of the county.
So we need to make a motion to appoint you as point of signature contact for the said litigation.
Yeah, that would probably help to have a placeholder there, and I know that's what some other counties do. They have their, the attorney be the signatory. But
You get any money this time?
this will allow Coffee County to be included in the settlement pool.
Because we've had one check so far?
No, there've been multiple checks. There's $15 or $17,000 now in that account based on the number of checks that have come in.
I was thinking we'd had at least 2 or 3.
And this is a new suit, is that correct, or a new?
It's part of the settlement. So
Okay.
the AG's office is sort of running it, and I've got a point of contact that once a year I have to send in a use of funds statement. So far, the county hasn't spent any of those funds. My recommendation is those funds be allocated and the recommended use go through the mental health board. And I talked to Millie about that. So this will just allow the county to be included in any settlement that involves, in this instance, Kroger. But some of the others have been McKesson, Allergan, CVS, Janssen, Walgreens, Walmart, and the county was a part of all of those. But according to this documentation, it just needs to be, the settlement process may be different in this instance.
Is this part of the opioid?
Yes.
Okay. Angie's just trying to draw up a motion to so I can have a motion for it. If you think we need a motion.
It probably wouldn't hurt.
She's got, to appoint County Attorney Wade Bowie as the signator for the opioid settlement that involves Kroger. Is that enough?
But you need to be.
Or do you want it?
Or point of signator and point of contact?
Point of contact, yeah.
Signator and point of contact, or point of contact and signator, however you want to put it in there.
Does it just need to name
I just
Kroger, or is this?
I'd say for associated opioid litigation settlement agreements.
For associated
Opioid
opioid settlement agreement.
Agreements, because there may be others, so each time you come in, one comes in, I can go ahead and get it.
And that would cover everything then.
That involves Kroger
No, I'd take
Or
Kroger out,
take
just
Kroger
a
out.
settlement.
agreement.
Yes.
That's a broad one.
That way it covers.
So that way, if there's another one that comes in, then he can just let us know, yeah. Just gives him clearance to take care of
As
it.
the authorized signatory. And then all that does is allow the county to sign up, be signed up and not have to bring it forward.
Put authorized in front of signatory.
Okay.
Authorized
Yeah.
in front of signatory. All right, motion reads to appoint County Attorney Wade Booth II as the authorized signator and point of contact for associated opioid settlement agreements.
I'll move.
Second. Moved by Thompson, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Sign away, Wade, sign away. What
I'm passing out, I think this happened while you were gone, Jesse.
There's a lot that happened while I was gone.
But you can get caught up.
Yep.
So the hospital board was here and their chairman was here and talking about adding some language about the functions of the board, any appointed board in the county. They started with, their focus was a hospital board first. So that turned into a discussion about adding some language to the application process and having that maybe as a cover to go with the application. So Mr. Hopkins sent this out here, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks ago. It went to myself and Angie, I believe. And this is the wording that they suggested that has been added to the appointed boards for the hospital. So it, in essence, would cover all of the appointed boards for the county, and basically to have that as a description of duties and responsibilities. So one of the things that was added when he brought that up was they had a whole conflicts of interest section, and that seems to be appropriate. So I've looked at it. I think it's actually well written and well put together. That, what the board's core functions and duties and responsibilities are. It makes sense on the confidentiality side for the hospital board to, that's one of the focuses that they deal with. Highly sensitive information, and then conflicts of interest is something that every board should take into consideration.
Right.
So, for your consideration is whether this language or something similar should be included as a part of anybody who wants to be a part of a county appointed board, that this be language that's included for them to consider when they apply in that application process. Or if they want to be a board member, that they sign something at the end saying that they have reviewed this and they understand it, they agree to abide by it. I think the hospital board, from what I understand, they go over this and then they have to sign something. I've not been there. I could be misunderstanding that, but that's my understanding.
You plan to kind of do this for all the boards?
Yes.
To lay out some groundwork, or, so they know what they're
What they're getting into,
applying
and I
for.
think that's what we,
Right, and what the expectations
Yeah.
are.
Maybe at a minimum, as part of if someone comes to get an application, that this be the top sheet.
First piece of paper they
Yep.
say.
Says
Yeah.
duties and responsibilities of being a board member
Right.
for any board in Pop
I don't think there's anything out of line.
That looks good to me.
I mean, it's,
Maybe some difference for some of the other boards.
I don't,
different things that may be in it, I'm
the
sure.
one thing I really don't care about is, willing to use electronic means to facilitate communication and access documents. If it's something that we're supplying them, that's one thing. But if it's asking an individual that's donating their time to be on a board, to have something, a phone or a laptop computer, or a computer at home, I don't feel that is part of their duties.
and to that point, there may be areas where that's not accessed, as far as tablet computers.
As far as the individual age limitation, you got some people out there that are in their 70s that don't run electronics. They've got a flip phone and that's it. And I don't know if this is, you said this is what the hospital gave us? Or what?
It's been an issue for them. That's what I understand.
And so, I mean, but you can't not let somebody be on a board just because they're not, just because they're technically challenged in technology.
Or they may, like I said, they may be in a location where they don't have access to internet, to access emails or.
Even if they have access to internet, they might refuse, they might not want to be on, they just don't know how to operate it.
Right.
And you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
So,
Yeah, you can. You can, but some people don't.
Difficult, isn't it?
It's difficult, but it can be done. That's the only thing I really don't care about.
And I can't disagree with you at all, Jessica.
So after the period there, where documents say, or have the ability to access the information in person, or something to that.
Say that again, Ray.
Or have the ability to access the information in person, like they can come in. I know
Oh, yes.
Don at times has come to me, and although an email has gone out, he wants it in person, so I print it off and hand it to him, and he gets the same.
so that would be an option then if you added that word in there.
Yeah.
I feel better about that.
That they would,
And that's the point.
or they'd be willing to come get the information,
Yeah.
I guess, something
I mean,
to that effect.
We liked electronics, we used to have a stack of papers here every morning of everything that's on this, and it's nice. It is, but you got elderly people out there that are on boards, and it's not anything wrong with that. It's just they don't feel comfortable using, and they have a hard time functioning through it. They're hands-on people. And I think if they're willing to put their time forth to be on a board, volunteer to be on a board, you can't discriminate them because they don't want to use the electronics.
Right, and again, there's still areas out there that don't have the ability to receive.
Have good
Yeah,
internet.
yeah.
It's the only thing I got towards it.
So, I don't know if there's would that change, I mean, how you want that to be? Would that be, a cover sheet that they get when they get a application? Are they, Andrew, the applications, are they online, or do they have to come in and actually pick one up? I can't remember.
Not sure if they're online, but we do hand them out.
Okay,
I was gonna say they come,
Or we email them.
or email them, yeah.
so this could be something that could go with it pretty
Yeah.
easy. Okay.
And we could put the application online, but I'll check and see if it's out there, so.
The only other thing I don't see is personal beliefs. Personal, anything about,
Well,
It's out there, yeah.
is it there? Did I skim over it?
No, I'm sorry, the application's online. I might-
Oh, okay.
That's what you're talking about there, sorry.
As far as their personal opinion.
Yeah, personal opinions.
So, I don't know if you ever totally get away from that, I just went through a jury trial a week and a half ago, and when somebody walks through the doors of the courtroom, they don't check their common sense, life experience. But what they do say when they want to be on a jury is that they can be fair and impartial in this case, notwithstanding whatever they've gone through in their life. And if they have something that's gone on in their life that will impact that ability to be fair and impartial, then they don't need to be on that jury, and that's the whole point of that process. So, for example, in a drunk driving case, if somebody has had something happen in their lives, either personally with a family member that's involved in drunk driving, then typically they'll raise their hand and say, yeah, probably not good for this case. And that's the type of thing I think that you're talking about, maybe, that somebody has some sort of feelings or bias one way or another in a particular situation that they may have an issue with. And cases, that even happens here, where someone has a, let's say for Tom, when, I can't remember what it was. It was one of the projects that was going on, he abstained because his business had some sort of impact in it. He said, I'm gonna abstain because I don't wanna be a part of it. And he exercised his ability to see that there may be personal benefit that he might gain. He wants that to be taken out of the equation altogether. So he took himself out. And when you have a board, you want them to, especially appointed members of your community, you want them to exercise their sound judgment and to have an opinion on a particular topic, that they have the ability to exercise that, but that doesn't override the intent and purpose of why they're on that board. And that cuts both ways. So that's, I think it's worded in a way here where that should cover that, but
That's another conflict of interest.
I don't think you can cover everything.
Yeah, it does say disclosure of any potential conflicts of interest.
You might not have a conflict of interest, but you got a personal opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to get away from that.
Hard to get away from.
Yeah.
I think everybody has a personal opinion about something.
But you have to set your personal opinion aside and do what the greater.
Need to be objective, do the right thing.
I mean, that's
As long as they're objective. I'm not sure how you get away from, this would probably be about as thick as our handbook,
Yeah.
if we went through every one of them.
Yeah.
I think with the wording that Wade is,
and
Probably
this is,
covered it as well as we
and this is
can.
the wording that, and I'm not gonna take credit for it, this is what the hospital, Mr. Hopkins, I think he put together based on the conversation, because the only thing he had brought forward was the oversight of the board and what the duty of the board was. I think most importantly for them was the last sentence. The board delegates all staffing and day-to-day operations to the administrator, director, and staff.
Yeah.
If I remember, when they were here, that was one of the focal points.
Yeah, the concern they had.
The board's duty wasn't to micromanage the.
Right.
like,
So with that change, that's just something to chew on.
Up there in the first paragraph.
Yep.
Yeah.
that has to do with the electronic.
Well, I would hope that the hospital would agree to strike that verbiage out of the oversight of the board, but they might not.
I think Wade wants to add to that sentence, right?
Yeah, it gives the option at the end of the word document, add the word or, be able, or
Yes.
have the ability to access the information in person, probably prior to
A board meeting.
Yeah.
No, that'd be fine too.
If they can't do it electronically,
Yeah.
then they should be willing to go pick up the
Yeah.
paperwork, is the way I would view it.
Yeah. Or they could send it out via snail mail.
yeah, or have it delivered one way or another. Which goes back to, there's, I don't know how many open board positions. There was a decision made while you were gone, Jesse, to hold those positions until you had a full board to make the appointment, since they're important across the county, and I don't remember how many are open and pending right now. But with Tom gone, I think that sort of defeats the purpose of waiting for you to come back to make that decision.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll all come together.
You know, something to throw out, and I know we've tried to be, you know, have the boards with enough people to bring them in from around the county, you know, the county district areas. You know, as it's harder to find people to engage into these boards, you know, is there a way to, if it's a 7-panel, go down to 5, or not replace somebody until you get down to 5? I mean, I think you've got a tie situation, you know, so is there maybe something we might need to look into, not having quite as many people per board, so many seats on the boards? You know, if we run into a problem where we don't have enough applicants
Yes.
to fulfill the seats, maybe a person holds off on filling the seats and go down to a 5-person board.
But it seems like since we went to the application form, rather than having,
More reaction.
I think we're having more reaction to it. Because there for a time, I mean, before we came on, and even after, right, as commissioners, we were expected to find people within our district to fill, if that was the position. And it just feels like with the applications going out, we get more of a response. And maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels that we're getting more response.
The advertising is
Yeah.
generating more people's
Yeah.
interest, and which is great.
And you can still call certain people if you so desire. I mean, say, hey, this position's open. If you're interested, get an application and go for it.
But I don't know what it'd take if, you know, if it comes to a point where you can't get people to fill the boards.
Yeah,
You know,
that's something we might
start-
have to look at.
Start yanking
sometime.
some seats out, and not have so many on the board, you know, so.
I think we're having more recipients now. We got four applications as far as zoning.
Yeah,
That
we've
we'll
had
be
some more.
making a decision here in the next week or two.
Zoning,
The,
housing.
we do have one that right now that's been open for some time, and I feel, got one that's been open for several months, so we haven't had any applications.
And I think there's four, and then we've got a housing open.
We've got housing open.
We had, what, just one applicant for the housing.
I think it is only one.
Yeah.
Is there just one position open on housing?
Yeah.
Guess we'll cross that bridge when we
Yep.
get to it.
Anything else, Wade?
So what I'm handing out right now is the statute, KSA 79-1613, that deals with homestead or building or improvement destroyed or substantially destroyed by natural disaster. And why it's something I'm handing out to you is it deals with taxes and either abatement of taxes or tax credit. So prior to the statute being amended in 2022, the county had, the clerk's office had 2, 3, maybe 4 that I can remember, applications that property had been damaged or destroyed in some capacity and requesting this abatement or credit of their taxes. And each of the ones that were analyzed did not fit the criteria because it had to be under the prior law. It had to be somewhere where they had resided, even if they were the owner at the time they applied, and it didn't fit that criteria. In 2022, and maybe due to COVID, I don't know, it has changed and the catch-all went even further out. So I have 2 applications that have been sort of running their course for a period of time. It's taken some time to go through it, and I've been working with the appraiser's office because you have to get some valuations. I have 2 that I was hoping to present today, and I've been working with the landowners in doing so. Both had fires that basically burned their buildings to the ground. One of them was a residence, one of them was a home, but they fit this, just need to get some clarification from the appraiser's office, because then that will require bringing a request for action to you, and these are the first of their kind that have gone through. In Coffee County that I'm aware of, it's not a foreign thing to some other places, some other counties. So this is the statute that sort of sets forth the grounds and what needs to occur and findings that need to be made. So this is, I guess, my planting seeds, and I hope to have the corrected, either a resolution or a motion or both for your consideration next week. I will tell you, it probably works out timing-wise. One of the applicants is Tom Huguenin, and his property that basically burned to the ground in July of 23. So, as we go back to our conflicts of interest analysis, he doesn't need to have any part of that, and that's why I was hoping I'd get it before you today. But in any event, even if he's here, is sitting, the recommendation will be he not participate at all.
Well, it's obvious he has the laws, so.
Yeah. No, each of the requests, there's documentation, actually, there's pictures with smoldering, what used to be structures that are completely gone, complete loss.
I'm sure.
I think for today, that's all I have.
Any updates on the restaurant down here that I've missed out on? Running its course?
Running its course, we should be pretty close. Steve and I went down and we walked it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and then the keys, you've got possession of all the keys.
all the keys that I know
That you
of.
know of,
Yep,
right?
they're right here. You ever want them? They're attached to my head.
Yeah, we found the keys for the apartment down there.
And did you get the keys for the north property?
I meant to grab them.
Okay,
There's
no problem.
Nope, I can get them.
We're going to mow tonight, so, or this evening. Hopefully it's still cloudy and cool, halfway cool anyway. We'll fire both mowers up and try to get it done in a record time.
Yep. And as has been mentioned before, you're volunteering your time to do it, and your gas.
Time and money.
You're not charging the county, sending invoices for gas or time or anything like that. Same thing, when I did it,
You might get your chance to do it again come January, so. Well, you won't be mowing it in January, but you got that summer to look forward to.
Don't use the pool either. Not that anybody's using the pool, I better not start that.
No, it's something that's been done to try to cut costs.
Yeah, you're looking at probably anywhere from $400 to $800 if you hired somebody to do it.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah.
So, pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot of grass.
A lot of grass, a lot of weed eating, so.
Yep. And if you don't keep up with it, it'll get away from you.
It's easier to maintain than it is to regain.
Good.
So that was the end of your roundtable?
Unless you have anything for me.
Not to my knowledge. Steve?
I don't have anything. I did go to the hospital board meeting the other night just as an observer, and it went well. And
You're having boring evenings, aren't you?
yeah, I am. I go to way too many meetings, but
It keeps you out and about.
it does.
Yep.
It went well.
Well, thanks for that and sitting in at the zoning here 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's not an issue though.
I think I got a call from Heidi the other day. I'll be at the 14th meeting, I think is what what it was,
you know,
the next one coming, so.
I
It's
have
the 21st meeting.
Yeah,
Third Wednesday.
there's a special one coming up.
Yeah, there is, it's talking about the roads.
Right.
Don, you got any round table?
The only thing I got in this question for, the pie lady was in asking for an abatement. We're still not in a position to do anything on that. There's still work to be done on the side.
So in looking at the rules and requirements for that, and speaking with Connie, since it's in the city of New Strong, I think they need to go through the city of New Strong and make that request.
I think you mentioned New Strong last Monday.
So unless, that's what she indicated to me, and I had her reach out to several other counties and jurisdictions that have gone through this process. If it's in the county, and the county has to, there's a part of it at the back end that one thing the county will need to do, and I'm gonna talk to Bobby about it, is establish policies and procedures for when somebody makes an application, and I don't know that the county has any policies and procedures, so.
Yeah, I don't think when she came in, she didn't know where to start. I think
Right.
she just started here
Yeah.
as a point of contact. And,
Yep.
It's time for us to take action. We need to be in a position to stay up or down. So I'm sure we'll be notified, but at the time we need to take actions.
So you got Don?
I don't have anything else, Jesse.
Wade?
No, sir, nothing today.
Angie?
Yes, I sent those numbers in to Phil on the budget, and, here's what he gave us back. I'm gonna take one and pass it around.
Just today?
Just today.
Okay. With Ryan's,
Uh-huh.
wow, that was quick.
Yeah. And then another, well, wait, see, look at this first.
Did you, this just one sheet?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was just his response to the,
More papers.
did I give you extra stuff?
so we're still over.
Oh. But originally, I think we started out at what, 63 point
Mm-hmm.
something. And then we talked about it going down to the 60.93, so after this morning, we'll take it down to 58.55.
And then there's one other place I thought of just this morning as I was looking through the budget. You know, you've been budgeting for that solid waste closure here. You got 400,000 that you're looking to transfer to that special reserve fund for the closure of the landfill, but let's see, where's that at? It's got 3.4 in it now.
That's in 2028? Is that earmarked for 2028?
Well, I don't know when they're gonna do it, ever.
I mean, it's all speculation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all a dart throw to when they're gonna have to close that cell.
But I just thought with the drop in the valuation, and they raised in the value from the,
From last year.
The state.
State raised values.
that if you postponed doing that this year, that would probably make your mill levy be 57.9 if you took off that other 400,000.
And it wouldn't be an issue in doing that, Angie, that you,
No, it's completely your call.
but I'm just saying,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
that's what it was designated for.
It just drops a year, yeah, it just drops a year funding the closure. That's got a moving target date anyway. All depends on how much trash we put in the landfill. I mean, So,
right.
I mean, I'd be willing to drop that 400,000 out of the landfill closure
I would
to try to help the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Not to raise the mill as much as long as people understand we started at 63 and now we're down to 50,
59.
be 57.9
Yeah.
roughly.
Yeah, if we did that, yeah.
But one of these days it's gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to increase it.
I know, that's,
And hopefully, our evaluation will, I mean, as far as
Will
utilities
raise.
will
Yeah.
recover.
yeah, that'd be the hope, that Wolf Creek would go back up some more.
And 2 or 3 years ago, the road and bridge, if we do a lot of updates this year, maybe next year, might be able to eliminate that 1.6 million there, if the equipment's,
Not be as
if we're
much.
addressing
you know.
that.
It wouldn't be as much.
It wouldn't be as
That's
much.
the problem.
Might save $1 million there.
That's, I think the biggest thing we're all battling is inflation's everywhere, and all these things that the county buys, everything. So, you know.
Equipment, supplies, no matter what.
Yeah,
you're looking
everything
at,
we're buying, labor, everything goes up.
From toilet paper to dozers.
So consequently, the cost
With
of,
dozers being a big part.
yeah, the cost of all of our tax money collected has to go up, and I know nobody hates taxes worse than I do.
Oh, I know. I pay enough the way it is, but.
Yeah, but
There's gonna
we've gotta
be-
be realistic if we wanna maintain our services.
That'd be 400,000 MD, is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what we put in, or what you guys put in
Right.
for it. So, and I didn't get anything confirmed from him yet, but I did go into the spreadsheet and did changed it myself, and it looks like, oh, he just responded. Oh, okay.
So does that get us to our target point, or do we need to be at
2020.
57.127 to be where we need to be?
That was last year.
That is just, yeah, that's what you did last year. So if you
But
do.
at 57.9, we would,
Well, you just do that little bit over last year's.
Right. Which is a lot better than
It's better than-
3.25.
yeah,
See, a year ago, it was an increase of 1.012, and if you get to 57.9, that's probably even a little bit less than that.
that's an increase than we had last year.
At least we're making an effort to control it, and
Well, that's obviously what everybody wants
Yeah.
to do.
Angie, on this letter, you're down to 60.934, which we started out 62. That's a decrease of 1.2. Is that something you and Richard were working on the other day?
We started out at 63.125.
No, this is what you guys discussed with Ryan this morning.
The 60.934? Well,
Yeah.
we discussed
58.55.
was going down to 58.55.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's after we
So
discussed with Ryan.
Right.
how did you get down to 60.934
That's
before
when
today?
She dropped $1.5 million.
you guys agreed to drop
Yeah,
that.
yeah, sorry, you didn't, but we agreed to drop that $1.5 million last Monday
Yeah,
out of,
General.
General.
Yeah.
You dropped some off of community improvement and some off of the capital outlay line.
And that took it down to 60.934.
Right.
Okay.
So with Ryan's decrease today, that took it down to the 58.55.
Yeah.
And if we do the 400,000, then that would take it down to the 57.127.
Right, 57.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
57.1,
Yeah.
right.
So we'd have not much of an increase over last year.
Right, right.
I sure want to do all we can to hold it down.
I think that's what we need to do.
And we'll
Well,
wait for.
that lets our taxpayers aware that we're doing what we can to control it, and with the increases here and the increases there, to me, that's a pretty positive step.
It is.
Well, I'm not gonna pat my back because I know somebody's gonna say something negative about
Yeah.
what we're doing anyway, but,
Yeah.
but,
There's gonna be a few people, any increase,
yeah.
they're not gonna be happy, but they've got to realize that
But these are services for the county, so in order to pay for services, I mean, this is what it takes to do those services.
Right.
We'll wait for Is it Phil?
Yeah,
Phil's response?
I sent him to request that, okay. So it would reduce the mill levy by 0.634 mils off of the 58.5, so it would put it at 57.9.
Okay.
Okay, he said, I haven't made the change yet, just let me know, so I've already told him to make the change, so.
Okay.
Very good.
It'd be 57 point what?
9.
Okay, just an even straight number.
Well, it'll be another couple numbers.
There'll be two more numbers.
Yeah, but I don't have that.
But that'll be close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within a hand grenade shot.
And then the other thing was that we sent all of the R&R info off to the printer that prints the R&R statements and sends out to all the taxpayers to let them know that we're going to be going over. But we did it at the 60.934, but that's okay because we're going to come in lower. If we were going to go over that, then we'd have a problem. But since we're coming in lower, then but we're still going to get phone calls,
Oh, yeah.
questions.
Sure.
And, reminder that when the state had the appraiser raise all the real estate values, that's affecting this too.
Sure is.
So it's not just what you're doing, it's what the state's done.
That's outside of our control.
Right.
A lot of people didn't realize that. Lots of people didn't realize it was out of our control when the state comes in and says, you need to raise your values.
Yeah, they have no choice, our appraiser's office doesn't have any choice.
You don't want the state to take over every year and do it.
So-
No, Coffee County will be in trouble. Yeah. We don't want to get in trouble. So we want to keep doing the right stuff.
The state's definitely got more control over our taxes than anybody realizes. Most people don't realize it.
That all you then?
Yes, and then, so Monday, okay, so next Monday I have to deliver a voting machine, so, I'll need to borrow the truck if that's okay to haul my voting equipment. So,
What is the distance for, campaign signs away from the polling booths?
250 feet
250
from the entrance.
From the entrance?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And so then, the only other thing was, Richard had put some documents before you, they're just now getting to you, Richard. He's here to answer any questions if you have any on that.
Is that what was is that on the screen?
Yeah, it's attached to the bottom there for just information, and then questions if you have any, and he's here to answer them.
Why don't you just come in here, Richard? You're up.
Okay,
We've got a light day, we might as well run it out.
sure. There you go, money, what we spent on the jail, where it's come from, summarized somewhat succinctly, I believe.
I'm rebooting.
I hate when that happens.
Uh-oh.
I did look at it before.
And we figured in the payment. We figured in the payment into the budget. And is that what we?
Well, it should be in the one coming up next, the next
And that's-
iteration of the budget.
That's the 2 million for the next one. I mean,
After this month's payment, $2,426,000.
No, this month is just,
That's just bills.
yeah, right at 700. Actually, the payment's only 530.
Oh, okay.
We paid 170 already. So 530
Oh,
at
I'm
the end of
sorry.
the month.
I'm sorry. I was reading it wrong.
Mhm.
The 2 million for is what remains
Yes.
Yes.
In the bond account.
in the bond account, right, okay.
So that will be done, I'm guessing, by the end of next month. Well, we're not in our September. We haven't made it to August yet. Because this month was light. Slave driver over here said, no, if I want any bills over 700 grand.
That's That's a plenty, that's all I can say.
Yeah,
Pay for it next month.
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll be 3 times as much next month.
so that will leave a little overlap, well, underlap of bond money, because the bonds will run out in September, new bonds won't be issued till November, so we'll have to use a couple $1 million of our money in the meanwhile, but we've set that aside 10 million.
Yeah, we've got 10 million set aside.
Right.
Does these figures here include the $770,000
Mhm.
of payment that we're
It is.
just now gonna be starting?
Everything is up through the end of this month, and my $530,000 payment
So
for
that'd
the
get,
bond and interest.
that'd get our jail funds down to 13 million.
Whatever's on there.
Well, we haven't got a copy of June or July yet. I thought I had a
It'll
copy.
take the jump down to 2 million.
Basically, what's down there, the page that's blue, is the running total of jail money.
Mm-hmm.
And so the total there on the right side is
12 million,
what?
1,000,009.
That is after my payment at the end of August.
That's after your pay, okay. So at the end of August, it'll be 1,200.
So 13.4 roughly right now.
Right, yes. I think,
What account do we have that 10 million in?
It is central, sort of,
Okay,
and it's in their trust department, so it's at Raymond James.
okay. But that's not included on our fund balance here, is it?
I don't think so.
10
Is there
million
one,
set aside.
is there 111 on there?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, 111.
So,
It's on there, but that's
So,
not,
yes.
that's as a bond, isn't it?
well, this is a construction account,
Right.
and so 10 million is in that,
It's counted in here?
in that 15 million that's on there under May.
Okay.
So June and July are not deducted out of that yet, nor is August, which is what my numbers go through.
Well, I was just wondering, $10 million that we set aside for the jail project.
It was set aside into Fund 111, which is construction.
Okay.
That's just for putting the building up west. And so we're not supposed to use that money to pay for the bond and interest.
Right,
We
no,
did
I
in the
agree.
beginning,
I
but-
agree. But you said our bond money was gonna be out.
Right.
But we had 10 million set aside, but,
As of May, that was the bond money and our 10 million.
okay, as of.
So the ending balance, that 12,900 represents the 10 million plus the 2 million
Correct.
left over from the
Yes,
bond.
yes.
Correct.
That's what I was just trying to follow.
Yes.
Alright,
And so that's what this should read if we put all the numbers in it.
sure.
Okay, sure. I understand it doesn't pay for the payments of the
Yeah.
bonds, it pays for the
Right.
construction.
And that's where it is sitting right
Okay.
now.
I like
in the
that
construction
13.5 the end of July.
Mhm.
Like you said, that does include the payment of doing now 770,000.
And actually, I take back what I said, I don't have the papers in front of me. So yeah, that bond and interest payment doesn't actually come out of this account. So we'll move, because we just took that out of courthouse general. Is that what we're doing instead?
Yes.
So I need to take that off. So we're still at that 13,498.
Okay.
So, yeah, take some white out or Sharpie and color that one off.
You know, it shows
It
a
doesn't come out
payment,
there.
shows a payment of 790,000, and that check's for 770. Where's the extra 20,000 coming in? Because I'm sure that check is 770.
There was another, yeah, that's one check. There's another check coming this month.
Okay, we haven't seen it, or Wade hadn't seen it.
Well,
too.
it's a Goldberg check.
It's Goldberg check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
We
copied from
haven't.
it.
It's probably down here in the boxes.
Okay.
So that makes the total 790.
Yes.
So Richard, the 13,498 would be the ending balance then?
Correct.
Okay, fine.
That other 531 I need to deduct,
Right, okay.
because it's courthouse general.
Sure.
We did that after I put this together.
That's why I was trying to come up with the 12.9, so. Good job.
Thank you.
Betcha.
You explained it where it was clearer than mud.
Yeah. Thick mud, but we got mud.
You gotta go.
Well, the nay here and the nay here all ties out.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
There's 2 change orders that'll be coming on the jail that I received last week. They need to be vetted.
Do they need to be vetted this week?
Oh,
No? Okay.
they can wait, they have to explain them.
Oh, okay.
Are they pretty sizable?
10 and 20.
10,000.
So $30,000 check worth of change orders coming.
Yep.
We'll wait for that discussion.
Well, that's why they need to explain it.
Okay.
I think one of them makes sense, the other one, they need to provide context.
Okay. Round table to me. I don't think I have anything. I drove 50 highway. They're working hard on it, as hard as they can. Bless the good Lord for the 2 inches of rain Saturday.
I just wish you would have shared a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little stingy.
Yeah, a little stingy.
I wish you'd given us all of it.
Keep Tom in your thoughts and prayers. He's having some gut issues after his surgery, so he's not in very good spirits right now. So hopefully speedy recovery. So
Hopefully that improves.
yes,
That's probably gonna take some
not,
time.
but I think he's going to
He's
be
still
out
in the
for a
hospital,
while.
isn't he?
No, I'm assuming he's home because Jeremy, I talked to Jeremy this morning, he said they rolled him, they gotta move him around so he doesn't get bed sores, but I'm assuming he's home. I'm not gonna say, cause I don't know, so. It didn't sound like he was in the hospital, but he might have been in the corner talking to him, so. Little article in the newspaper last week about the Board of Commissioners being corrupt. And, I got one thing to say, and I'll say it plenty loud and clear as I can, that if anybody thinks that the Board of Commissioners are doing illegal acts, by all means, get a hold of our county attorney, or call the FBI or the Attorney General and have them do an investigation to prove that your accusations are false. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get wrapped up in the BS other than that.
I agree.
I think it's well stated.
Because there's names called out, even my wife's, that has nothing to do with this, and, I'm not playing the game. I'm not getting wrapped up in the political, whatever you want to call it. I know what I want to call it, but I can't call it. So. That's all I've got to say.
Our county attorney's been very diligent about making us follow the rules and do things correctly, as I commend him for.
I wasn't
And
seeing
we've done that. That's all I have to say.
Totally agree with all the comments that's been made by Jesse and Wade.
I work
I
hard.
think that's it's the first responsibility of all of us, and Wade does a great job of leading us through and make sure that everything is on the right side of everything that needs to be legal.
My whole goal of getting on here wasn't to have another job. I got plenty of stuff to do. I was trying to contribute something to our county, and I continue to try to do so. It sure hadn't been the pat of my own.
As we all do.
That's all I've got to say.
You know, my business has actually suffered a little bit.
Oh,
being on
mine
this.
too.
So, but I'm okay with that. So anyway,
knew that would happen, you
Yep.
know? Because my own stuff's not getting cared for as well
Exactly.
because of it, but that's fine.
Other than that, we got checks and vouchers for the rest of the day.
I will say, I've told people if they think there's something going on, they can come to me and I'll dial the number to the KPI. There have been claims made before, and I'm sure there'll be claims made again, but I understand people don't always agree with what's done. They're entitled to their opinions, but integrity is something I value very highly. And if somebody thinks there's something illegal going on, I'll call the KBI for them.
I agree.
Here. I think I said FBI, it is KBI, so.
Just be the KBI.
Yeah, KBI.
Or the FBI.
Okay. Call them all. Call all the three lettered. Anyway. Had to get that out of there. Checks and vouchers it is.
Just a little rumble of thunder.
Yeah, I thought maybe a motorcycle starting up out there, but it didn't take off, so it must have been thunder. Keep this top in here just a second, wait, as soon as I look through it,
Okay.
just glance through and see if there's anything crazy. It's all road and bridge, so I'm sure it's fine.
So I need to take all this stuff out and then pass
Oh,
it
yeah,
back
yeah,
on
sorry,
down?
sorry.
Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct. Looks like they're stacked maybe a loose hole. Yeah, for road and bridge is pretty good. Oh, Vanessa doesn't.
There's a Jayhawk in the bottom of there, I don't know about.
Go Hawks, go Hawks. After the block, after the block, that means good.
Oh, dirty bird.
Dirty bird.
Bottom.
Go Hawks, baby.
Okay.
Well, they're spending a lot of money on their stadium.
Yeah.
Did you put that sticker in there?
Sure.
You guys just wanna work through.
Much?
That suit everybody okay?
I'm good. Fine with it,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you done with these then?
Yes,
This thing?
ma'am.
Go ahead and collect them and get a collection for chart.
Is there supposed to be a cover for the payroll vouchers that everybody signs?
That's less.
These are, yeah, some of that and
That's gonna be in there?
yeah, some of the, right here. And then
That's. This goes all from that.
are you done with? Is yours off?
Yes, Wait, did you go to the livestock auction last night?
I did not, I didn't, came home, the field wasn't feeling very good.
Too much heat?
I don't know. Too much Mexican food the night before, or something, I don't know what it was.
That was date night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Margarita.
I didn't make it up there.
Yeah, I donated to, well, I used to be Kenny Spillman, but Brian Spillman's taking it over his grandson, so.
Yeah, I wanted to, I was wanting to make it, but
I'm sure we have an update from the extension office how it all went. Was you there last night, Mark, covering that?
For a little while.
For a little while, was it a good turnout for the auction, or?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Man, it's getting blue up there, guys. Getting more rain, this is Waverly's turn for the rain, I think.
remember the southern part of the county, one of these days. You got a half or thereabouts off and on.
Yeah, you guys have been shorted all the way around.
Yeah, well, it's,
We got, out of those two little shots, we got 3,500.
we're southeast of Gridley down there mowing, and I can tell you can tell the different qualities of the dirt underneath the meadow. Some of that stuff's pretty thin.
We haven't mowed our yard for probably 3 weeks, might even be 4.
Nothing you can get so far behind on and get caught up so quick, you know.
Okay.
Or not so, maybe not soaked up, but you can sure. We're only about 10 days away from the drought this time of year, no matter how much you get.
I don't think here's one that was hung on with both.
Okay.
It was tied up with the,
From about the county line east, all the way west, and I haven't been on 58 with Gridley, but I have never seen corn go dry as quick as it has in that particular area. I'm not
Like down there at
saying
the
our
junction.
area, but it is, probably 20 miles wide north and south.
Some of that's pretty good ground, and normally that stuff will hold on longer than
It is really
it'll really suffer in there.
gone quick, that one.
Get that south wind blowing 90 degrees,
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
dry that corn out and nut to flat.
it's just like a furnace.
But it's really been quick this year.
I talked with Judy's nephew, Eric Platt, he lives at Virgil and farms down through there. They haven't gotten any rains at all down through, same thing.
Yeah, it's been bad for them, man.
Yeah, it's probably almost a 54 highway.
Yeah.
And yet the beans are not growing much, but the majority of them are all knee-high plus, and I don't know how they're looking as good as ever.
They'll make a bean in August, so if we get August rains.
You know, last year though, these newer varieties just stand the drought a lot better.
Well, the genetics have improved so much over the last
And
10 years.
and the corn varieties have improved a tremendous amount. It's been awful dry. It went backwards awful quick.
be make some changes, so when they do that, it takes a few days and then it hits, and then it's like, we're having some issues right now.
Trying to get it leveled back
Yeah.
out again, that should change it.
Need to back off on a few things and see what it does for a few days, and back off on some more. I've been a little more aggressive than his always been.
Yeah. Sucks that kid's gotta put up with, sucks any kid's gotta put up with that stuff. Anyway. Did you make it green?
I was really,
Maybe change your mind or not.
How much of Highway 50 have they got redone right?
You know, it was last Monday I drove down through there, and I think they've got the line, the saw line, all the way from the Olivet Road west. I didn't pay any attention to the left side, the eastbound side, going westbound. They got the line cut, but they got into that curb in there, and well, every so far there's a drain tile that comes from under the road, so they've got to go over the top of the drain tile, you know, with the excavator and kick the curb out. So they was 2 miles east of Fauna last Monday. So they really don't want people driving down it, even though you are local. I mean, local access, but I don't feel that I'm enough local access unless I'm going to my son's house, you know, to drive down it, or over to the Bailey property or no.
I was up through there a week ago and I was gonna go down 50. They had it all blocked off at 75.
Yeah, you can go through the barricades, but you just ask it, no through traffic.
And a few days later, they had the barricades, one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I stayed clear away from them when I come up to where they was working at. I just drove clear out in the ditch all the way around them. They was looking at me like, goofball, what you doing clearing out in the ditch? I spend more time in the ditch than I do on the road most of the time.
We're used to driving in the grass,
Yeah.
right?
Limbers up the springs and the shocks and everything on the pickup. $2.99 check.
Prison breach.
Yeah, that's still, this is all still
We're still on that.
on the business.
Won't be very long.
How's the time clock thing going? I haven't heard anything from anybody.
Oh, well, on the time plus, we quit doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's no longer, it's not regular.
oh, okay.
No, I can't even think now what,
Well, Ryan came in and
Oh,
some
yeah.
other department heads, I had to be gone that day, but, they came in and everybody was just expressing how it's not working for us and the fact that we were paid monthly and just,
it's gone.
that we're
Well,
on real time.
we're on
so
real time and
We're legal.
Oh, okay, so real time, still good.
Yes. there wasn't any more, Jesse, there wasn't any more, the contract, the only thing that we were paying for was
Service.
I just make,
That's
that's
it.
the end of
Road
that.
and bridge is it.
Yeah, that's the end of
was
that.
maintenance.
$14, $1200, something like that, every year.
Well, it sucks we wasted the money, but you wind up wasting more.
Just,
dealing with it.
it wasn't the fact that they weren't trying,
Yeah.
I really believe that they were.
We accomplished, we got on real time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we did that before we even went with 10 bucks less.
right,
So,
yeah.
but. And the other good thing about it is we have a definite cutoff date every month.
Right.
So it's giving payroll more time to get it done. It's not such a rush
So
of 2
see,
days.
Did June catch us up to the,
Yeah, June, we're on 15th
Right.
through 16th,
Right.
and now it'll be that way
no,
from
Yeah.
now. So that's,
That'd be the end of the quarter.
Start on the
That makes
road,
it
next
really-
folder goes on.
is this the new one?
very
It's
good.
in this folder.
Everything goes in green folder.
Isn't it kind of nice to not have to be so addressed, and then you have more
Well, you
errors
just make
made.
mistakes,
Yeah.
and it's just, it's crazy. You know, it's just
And that
crazy.
gives department heads a little more time, you don't have to rush as well, and,
You were talking about that little hawk in the bottom of the basket. Did you know Jim Thorne from Lilo?
No.
You knew him, Jess. Jim and I were good friends, and we had a running battle of the Cats versus the Hawks, and he was diehard Cat all the way. And one day I got a letter in the mail, over the weekend, the Cats just thrashed the crap out of the Hawks. And I was giving him crap all the way, we talked a lot of trash. So Tuesday morning, I got a letter in the mail from Thorne, and I opened it up, and it was spring-loaded, and blue and red feathers flew out of it. And that's all it was.
That was it.
That was it. It was fun.
Jim Thorne, he was one of the good ones.
He was. Jimmy he was a good guy. But those feathers just blew.
Hey, basketball and football, now KU's came up a little bit in football, you never know.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to select a winner on.
I'd like to think that KU is going to do their thing in football this year, but I don't really believe that. Not yet.
They've got some talent return with Neal and quarterback coming back.
Yeah, they do.
So the K-State quarterback has a lavender Corvette now.
Really?
LL deal?
Here's the last one on that folder, Don.
Mike, I think it's Mike Gundy or Grundy, coach at Oklahoma State, his son come to KU, didn't he?
Emporia.
Oh, that's right, Florida State.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida
Yeah,
State.
Who's the quarterback?
You're gonna be a quarterback. Where, if this is freshman year or junior year, or- I never did hear what year it was.
One of my favorite times of year, football season.
yeah.
NFL should be kicking off preseason games here before too long, aren't they?
Is this the last one for,
That's it.
was everything in here?
Everything so far has all been free.
Okay.
No.
Those are in the new box, aren't they? Yeah, those are in
Yeah.
the new box.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all Yes, sir.
There is one page in there, maybe, you may be signed it, I didn't catch it.
Yes, I did. In that group?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Covered all that last week,
Okay, we know this for this last week. Yeah.
I bet some of these next ones are gonna get a little bit larger, get into plumbing and electric. I wish there was a way to keep their statements and keep them in line with their percentage of work done. And a lot of us got a lot of dollars left.
Yes.
There's no way to keep track and make sure the work is within the percentage per bid.
If you look,
I don't know how you could do it. You know, we know what their total dollars are, the percentage that they're paying, but we don't know the percentage of work.
How was
I
the
don't
tax
think-
money from the state for
you
BDD?
go back and start
You get the last
on
page.
page 2 of 5, and it'll go through each one of them, and it'll break it down, work completed,
Oh,
how much of the percentage is done, what's been retained.
You know, I'd overlook, and I looked at that again today.
So that's,
Okay.
Around 16,000.
so then it has all the breakdown, that's.
It's by the month.
right there.
Well, I don't know. No, I gotta look.
I totally
That was
overlooked
by the
that one
quarter, and
call.
then
I
by
don't
the month, so.
Okay.
Maybe it's just whenever the state
So
decides
that's
to
what,
send the money.
total in retainage, that's,
this is balance to
Let's
finish.
see, comes
there's
from,
the total, it even has change
Change
orders
orders.
included.
And this is the retainage that's left
I
by
guess I
the,
can look in that fund.
yeah.
I believe that's.
CID.
change orders
Yeah.
this time period.
Yeah.
So for example, it shows you what's left in construction contingency, it goes through back to that. So, for
You printed
example,
me off that one copy, and I looked at it pretty close.
so, for example, masonry is right here, go across, that's the total.
That's their bid.
That's their total, this was the previous time, this was this time. Stored materials,
What did it show us percentage, 31?
31,
And that's pretty close, it's 500 into 1490.
right, right.
That's something we need to
So each pay app has these sheets and these numbers are updated.
Okay. Next time when I have that, because that's on the board.
Yeah, I move through it pretty quick because I go to their individual pay apps. But that's where those figures are populated from.
Is there that many columns on the board?
No, because
The columns up there.
no, because I go through and I go to each individual company's pay app,
Yeah, I don't remember that many columns.
and that's what I break down.
Oh, I bet it is.
But that doesn't tell us how.
440.
Oh, was the number 440?
Yeah.
150, 482.
Architect and engineering fees for the department.
From 139.
51.
Okay, so we got 11,000 in
Health
June,
department.
I'm guessing.
11,100, 12,869 in May.
When did it start?
For the engineering.
For June, we got 10,000, it's 75,000 in 2023.
2023, from June.
Look it up. July, which probably would have been for June, we got 9,663 in July of last year. And then
That was the first time.
payment. And then end of July, 12,815. So it's running about, that first year was running about 10,400
Well,
a month that we're getting. And then this year,
well, from June of 24, or June of 23 to June of 24, we've got $150,000 out of it.
right,
Out of the CID.
CID.
Take that times how many years has Vito Junction been there?
Multiple. How many dollars did you say?
$150,000 in a year.
It's awful good money. Money we've been missing out on.
For a long, long time. And not very many of our citizens are paying that dollar amount.
Yeah, it's mostly transit fees.
Exactly. That was my first goal, my first thing I wanted to do when I got in the seat. And it took almost 2 years to get that done. So there's another 300,000 that we lost out on.
So Angie, on this, for Sully's Auto Repair, it's got an invoice in here with central computer distribution from Olathe. So is that included in here? Was this computer installed, this laptop installed in the vehicle or something?
Except for the phone, all that, but it is wrong. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. It's wrong.
oh,
I thought they doubled up by 19.
must be Sully's Auto Repair.
It's probably it was probably an actual ECM computer. If it was at Sully's.
And it's included in their bill, I just, is that number on there? Or is that in the wrong place?
Well, I wonder if it's in the wrong place. That one's on there. That one's on there, 129.
I should word that.
Brad,
so
this is-
172.
And where Brad gets his stuff, you see.
Yep.
mosquito
Yeah,
place.
one of those.
Oh, it might
I
be
think
the wrong place.
some of this goes, yeah. Something got stapled wrong.
Pick up in
Yeah.
the wrong
Yeah,
stack.
yeah.
Okay,
Good,
okay,
good catch, let me go fix that.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, I just happened to flip through that and thought, well, that doesn't have their name on it.
Once in a while, they will stick together.
Right. No, I'm sure it's a bill, and it's probably a bill for us, but it's just not the
That's
right
the wrong
stack.
voucher, yeah.
Here's one. Here's one that, was hung
Stuck
up.
together.
Yeah.
Here's a transplant of a prison from Albuquerque, New Mexico, $1,700.
Not cheap.
I'm sorry?
It's not cheap.
No. Is that just a one driver and car?
It's secure transport.
I'm sorry?
Secure transport?
Okay, so it wasn't any of our employees.
No.
I didn't recognize.
It'd be more expensive to have our employees, because then you gotta go out there and come back, and they usually have people in that.
So that's like a secured van or something, is it, or what do they transport it in? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure what they use, but it probably has a cage in it of some sort.
Okay, thank you.
And the bigger issue is, they're insured, so that they assume that liability, I guess.
A lot of liability there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still looks like a pretty lucrative business if you set up in that. but it's
Be a
gotta
little harder to get a backhaul, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, just a little.
Wouldn't hold a lot of grain, would it? Or livestock.
Well, it depends on how big the cage is. Hold some goats.
Yeah.
You'd have to let them out about over 6 hours and water them. Bringing cattle back from Florida anymore. I don't know how much it's enforced, but
Yeah.
you got to unload them.
I'm sure that gets violated, so.
A lot.
Yeah.
And we could just leave them and not go get them, but then that's not gonna happen.
Right.
Then all you gotta do is leave the area and
Yeah.
we'll go get you from anywhere.
Do we don't.
Gone to
we'll go
California,
get 'em.
Vermont, New York,
Good deal.
Louisiana, Florida, Texas, Albuquerque. Coffee County is an equal opportunity when it comes to
That's good.
Do crimes will travel. We'll pick you.
I always put on the warrants that go out with the extradition request is, and the majority of them, if they're felonies, is nationwide.
I know we can't, or shouldn't mention any names and I won't, but here's a juvenile psy. PSYCHOSEXUAY evaluation.
Psych evaluation?
It's $2,900. That will next thing.
A county expense for juvenile.
Might be money well spent. You hope.
I heard you once, give me something.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
I thought the reading it was enough.
So I don't know if you picked up
up on this one as it was going through. This is the AA blast service. They re-caulked all the windows down outside the health department, and that was done with the idea that the leaking may have been coming from those windows. So,
Hoping.
well, the guy who did it said, yeah, it looks like it's a problem, and where the way it's set up, water could have been going in through those windows, into that back wall. And then,
Basket, all those goodies.
DC Solutions came out and they redid some things too. So hopefully that's all addressed, but we need to have a decent range to test it.
Let the sprinkler system run.
Spray up against the building?
Yeah, spray up against the building.
I'm not sure that's enough either.
New fire trucks.
That would do it, that would do it,
I've been a little harder on our church though.
yeah.
Here's our meal expense for the inmate, $6,900. I don't think that's a lot higher than what it's been.
Yeah, that is higher.
But I looked at the paper last week, or
Had quite a few.
I think they've got a full house, don't they?
they've got quite a few in.
I don't know if it's full house.
It's full,
Is it?
and they're
Covers it.
being farmed out.
Wow.
And I know there's pretty good number in the paper.
Yep. As quick as we get them out of there, they replace them.
How do you mind to get in jail, right?
Outride one of these.
No, not as right.
I didn't do it. What did he do with 250? The cancers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just that fishing department's got a little.
Mark, you been doing any camping?
Weekend before last, when it was, temperature was kind of mild, I guess you'd call it. Went out for the weekend, right?
Out here,
Yeah.
Gridley.
Yeah.
Your favorite spot?
Actually, no, well, one of our earlier favorite spots. Not your favorite spot.
Yeah, that favorite spot cost me an air conditioner.
I think they finally fixed it.
Little low clearance.
It was, no, it was a little low electricity, little wattage.
Oh, okay. Smoky stuff, huh?
Melted my plug to their plug.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Which I didn't know it until after air conditioner already quit. And, luckily it didn't burn out the other one. When I went to go unhook, I couldn't unhook my plug.
It was rolling together.
I'd get a hammer and knock it.
Oh, we got it.
Break the plastic.
Wow.
Wow.
Supposedly somebody else had a problem, and I think they actually fixed it right after that.
I don't know. Have you seen those two plug-ins? You can buy those plug-ins that you can use 210 and a 30 amp.
Oh, really?
So it's your 50 amp. Oh, you're just strictly 30 amp on your?
Purchases of two
I thought that
sets
was
of
pretty
tires.
ingenious, 'cause
Yeah.
they've always got two 20 amp plugins,
Yeah.
or 10 amp,
Yeah.
so. Plug to them and they run into your same big cord, they all meet up into the big cord, and then your 50 amp plug right into it. You got your 30 and your 210, pretty neat. It works, I don't know, try it. Haven't bought one yet.
We took off for 11 days,
Right here's
first part of
Wolf's
June.
to Kansas City.
We went to Marion Reservoir for
Two
2
sets of
nights,
tires.
then we went to Wilson Lake for 3 nights, then we went to Lake,
Coffee County surely got
City Park for
quality
2 nights,
tires.
then we went to Glen Elder.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, they made these special.
And then that show us about camping all year, so we haven't done a
It's
whole lot.
on, it's asking.
Yeah, 2 months and 3 days in mine was a lot, but I'm ready to go do the real camping, you know.
Yeah.
Here's the other
We
$20,000.
cook a lot inside, just based on the difference in weather, you know. Of course, you could have open fire.
That's the one, I have fire.
Oh, I know.
It's,
Lewis Oil.
it's.
Oh.
Lewis Oil.
Oh, this will, pardon?
It worked great.
Well, you know,
Right there. That's where they bought them.
Yeah, it was all.
So they had it done locally. They must have had to order those
They must have had
tires.
over their tires. The refill?
I am good.
You good?
It's dry. Yeah. That's the Lewis Oil. that-
Mark, is the Republicans, Rob Straw, are they holding a meeting tonight in New Strong?
I think they got
Meeting
us
at
a
the-
couple plugs in.
Well, they installed 20
I believe they're doing it next
200
Tuesday. They're
200
doing it,
amp.
they're calling it a watch party.
Watch part. I think it didn't install tomorrow.
Inside.
I'm not aware of anything tomorrow.
I'll relook at it.
That's not to say there's nothing going on, I just don't remember it.
A little more than just a,
Yeah.
It's a special deal.
run a light bulb.
They want everybody to bring snacks.
I think that, I think
Get
that's next
electricity
Tuesday.
out to the
I believe.
landfill for that building.
That's right.
That we're talking to that watch party, they're planning at the library.
Hey, Bob Struthers. We messed it.
Hey, what's going on here?
I don't
anyhow?
know.
Going backwards.
Wade caught that one.
No, here is
You can jump by me too.
I'm trying to, I try to kind of stair step from there, but I'm missing them.
No, they-
It's all my fault.
No, they
They're
don't.
when I-
Supposed to do a group and,
It starts with you pretty high.
That should do it.
Should.
I just
last
hope,
week or the week
I just
before,
hope
it all
it
runs
don't
together.
say
Integrity.
what I think it
Picks
says.
up.
9200 amp
The
meter.
day after the highway spray,
Like to me,
after we're trying to convince
That's,
you.
that's what it sounds like.
Said,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
And we came in and talked about that before.
So they, was there a good
So that
turnout
sounds
for
to
that?
me, that-
Not as good as
but
they
they also
want.
need a minimum.
They always hold those on Tuesday.
Woo.
Seems like.
You get the checks all signed?
Yes,
It's
sir.
hard for me to get away on a Tuesday.
You slack on
I'm still
us
working
now.
on it.
And a little pocket constitution.
Roger Thomas carries one of them in his pocket all the time.
Good thing to have.
I have several of those. Guess it hasn't changed any, so
Still be good.
They try to change it all the time.
Yeah.
Change the meaning of the word. Have a good week, Mark. Take care, Mark.
Yeah.
How's early voting going?
Good.
Does it have a lot of people come through?
Let me tell you how many, because we've had quite a few this time.
I bet there's been quite a few,
I was gonna say 100, we've got 96.
96.
96?
Oh.
I figured it might be more than that, what we're doing. 8 days now.
Well, we have this week left, and Monday morning till noon.
I got a little Tuesday evening this week for the Altamont, Illinois.
Oh.
Get down there, you gotta drive all the way across to Springfield, Nebraska.
There.
That's this weekend. Long weekend.
I guess it didn't rain, did it?
No, not yet.
Great, so we can reserve it in
Give him some lead rope, see how he handles it. He's done good. He's done good.
Work case this week.
I've just been trying to
have it.
There are quite a few,
I would focus more on him. I would
cases
do
going
more
on.
out and
I'm
about
about,
drumming up business stuff,
last I looked, a month,
which would be very beneficial.
maybe a month and a week ahead
Being
of
having to be here
filing
on Mondays and having
this time last year.
some Wednesdays and then the school board, fire board, and then the zoning. You don't ever get time to get right to go
That's
drum up.
pretty heavy duty cases.
You guys need to do phone calls, but I've done that for 32 years, you know, because I've been there. Yeah, he's doing fine. We're busy, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know how to. He just doesn't really know how to, drum up. Oh, so much of our stuff's repeat, you know. But there's times it gets slow and you gotta get out and hammer the phones, call people and ask and beg and plead. He doesn't know how to do that.
That'll
It does. If I didn't have the good dispatcher that I have, it'd be.
That's who does most of my value, that's the.
Who's the dispatch? Chuck, he's been there for a long time. Yeah. Yep. I told him when he's done, I'm done. Better figure it out.
Find you a replacement. huh?
Yep. That guy out. Still hard to hire drivers, it's still hard to hire shop employees.
Exactly. Well, and like somebody like that, those key positions, I mean, you know, I've got another guy that backs up for him when my dispatch is gone, but it's, how do you have another one standby, you know, depending on the law.
Yeah. And they know it.
Yeah.
They got you right where they want
You just say okay before they say.
All right.
Well, here's one out of the state of Kansas, Chris Kobach, $2,805.
Was it donation?
For the preparation of all briefs and all oral arguments of criminal appellate cases
Didn't know it.
rising in Coffee County from
The year,
July 1st of 1 to June 30th of 25. That's been,
so the,
must have been more than one deal.
no, so appellate work is outside the normal duties and responsibilities of a county attorney, so it can be billed separately. The AG's office has a unit that all they deal with is appeals, criminal appeals. And
That's
so,
probably just one case then, isn't it?
well, so they send out a schedule based on the number of appeals the county has had, and then they price that accordingly. And the price for either 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 appeals, what they sent me is that. So that's actually probably a pretty good deal. I've got two felony appeals that are ongoing right now that they're handling. If you were charging by the hour as a private attorney, you were charging even the bid rate, the bid, which is felony indigent services rate, that's $120 an hour. But for most attorneys who are in private practice, it fluctuates anywhere between $250 and $350. You're gonna burn through that.
Quick, very
Yeah.
quick.
Just to review, one of the records that's on appeal was a week-long jury trial, and then all of the records that go with that. I can't even tell you how much time. I mean, I know that week-long jury trial is 12 or 16 volumes, and thousands and thousands of pages. On the other one that's up, we had a day-long motion hearing that we each had experts, so it was a battle of the experts is what I'll call it, and it was, it's an interesting issue that the court's dealing with, but if anybody has an issue with that, I'll sit down and talk with them and let Beth explain. They may not like it, but I'm not the only one doing it, and it's actually, I think, of great value to the county. So, and if somebody disagrees, they probably better make some phone calls and fact check.
Good old fact check.
Here's one for a psychology evaluation for $150. I wouldn't think they'd get much of an evaluation for.
Is that for an employee maybe? It's for the sheriff's department.
I'd have to see what it is.
Like a pre-employment deal or something.
Filled out Atlanta, Georgia, but it had to be somebody closer than that.
Big old transformer if you work it.
Oh, yeah.
It weighed, around 440 tons, 880,000 pounds.
Sitting on the front, right?
About 11 semi-loads worth.
Yeah, he's sitting up there and
Jess, how'd you say they went? I mean, what was the?
well, I think they went around, so they was coming on 50 highway and they went to the north of the overpass, west of Lebo, come down the gravel road, cross railroad tracks, and then come down Emmer to 50 and then come east to Fauna, and then went south to 23rd,
And then came across on
and then
23rd.
come across gravel roads all the way to 75,
Oh,
and then they was going right past the airport in that video. That was at 7:30 this morning, they was blocking the road by my office.
They're trying, somebody they're trying, the law's trying to catch.
No, it's the transformer, that was moving the Vito.
440 tons.
Yes. Oh my God. You wouldn't want to drop that on your toe.
That is so,
Holy smoke.
Isn't that crazy?
where'd that come from then? I mean, what did that,
Come out of it for you, but I don't know.
I would have been for you, yeah.
Well, it probably come out of Texas, would be my guess.
Look at all that.
Via ship. Well, it shipped into Texas.
And then traded on
And
rails.
it's been driving the whole way. Wow.
You wouldn't wanna get on much of a slope.
I think they come,
Lay over.
Oh, yeah, they
Oh,
don't,
German.
they don't turn out from underneath that baby too short. Have that guy over on them.
They're not moving.
Take a little crane and pick that back up.
Yes.
We'd have to haul the crane in.
Yeah.
A special haul.
Can you imagine how big the crane has to be to pick that thing up?
That's gotta weigh half again or twice as much as the item to pick it up, you know?
I've never seen that kind of a mover truck before.
A lot of times, they'll have pusher trucks behind them.
To assist.
Yeah, 400 minutes.
I'll be going.
If I'm not mistaken, that might be electric. I think it's got generators that run electric pool motors, but I'm not 100% sure. They got it, yeah, it's gotta be electric. I think it is electric.
I'm sure it's probably.
Yeah. Pretty big loaders. Hurston's got some big old pit loaders that are electric driven. They just got a generator that runs electric motors, and they say it burns a half amount of fuel during the day.
So it's an electric vehicle with a generator.
Yeah. They said they are wild to run, because it's so torquey, you know.
Go in.
Oh, you breathe on it, it's gone, you know. Saves them, they ain't, they're not cheap, but saves them half the amount of fuel. I think those things burn 2 gallons an hour probably, originally.
They wouldn't have all that, drive lines on that, and there's wheels down on or electric motors down on the final drive, so you eliminate all gears and
All your
stuff.
U-joints and drive shafts.
There's 50 gallon of milestone.
Pasture.
Yeah. It's a pasture,
It is a pasture.
It's a pasture herbicide.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. It's been out several years now.
290 gallons
Yeah, he'll go
for
through.
5 gallons.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would take over.
I can't think what the rate on that.
I'm sure it would take over a pint a day.
I can't.
A pint a day, it would be almost $35 an acre.
Yeah. But that's a pasture herbicide.
Weeds on it.
Yep.
There's a brewer, I've never heard of that.
For somebody that, much of that stuff, John, is old chemical with new names. I mean,
Yeah.
it's old chemistry with new names.
Get away from a patent or something.
Exactly.
don't they?
Yeah.
That's 5 gallons for $9.
I have a pasture guard right now, it's
See, there-
out there, $58 a gallon, something like that.
The cost on pasture guard right now, 4 gallon and 93 cents, it's 23 cents.
Right.
Yeah. Cost. Remedy left here, I know that.
Yeah. Ruby's been out for a long time too.
I've never heard of Blackstone. Most everything's coming from Van Dees now, so you don't know what company it is.
Yeah.
Right, Van Dees is just the supplier. Yeah.
Van Dees has been around a long time.
Yeah.
I can't think of the first man that walked through the doors.
Ron
Van
Sims?
Dees. Ron Sims, he's
Ron-
still alive.
No, he passed away, 20 years ago, I suppose, Don.
I know he's older than what I was, I didn't know how much.
Yeah, Ron Sims.
When we were raising money for the Veterans Honor Flight, I talked to
Oh,
the younger Van Dees, and they said, right now, when they sent 250 or 500,
yeah.
that Van Dees truck runs through the Leroy every week.
Is that who Leroy supplier is?
That's who they're getting a lot from, how much I can't answer. I don't,
Wait, do we need to pull that check out of there?
No,
Okay.
it's okay. Power of the landfill.
yeah, Kendall, Kendall, he's doing a lot of work right
You did some there.
now. I'm sorry? Pass it back to my, flip that and forgot to sign.
Oh,
Can't, you should have signed it, I can't read mine anyway.
you can't read mine either. I didn't know you were supposed to be able to read your signature.
And he started writing in my left hand. I've done that for enough, it's
You kinda got used to it.
better.
Well, any new roundtable come to mind before we done for the day?
I don't have any.
Yes. Guess we'll adjourn. 12:42.
Very good.
Y'all have a good week.